And I just realized I had my microphone turned off for the last 3 minutes. So let me start over.
Not mine.
And I just realized this is Eric Anderson with Poker House Fort Worth.
Mine's got like
Welcome to our
a
Friday night stream. We've got a 1-2 stream with a $500 buy-in. This is our small stream. We're hoping it kicks off and it's popular and you guys like it. And we'll do it a couple times a week, as long as it's something you guys want to do. So if you're in the chat, give me a hello, a thumbs up. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear the table. Let me know what you guys want to see. But this is our 1-2 game with a $500 buy-in. We do not do match the stack in our 1-2 game. The maximum you can buy in with is $500. And like I said, we've got Matt in the box, pitching cards and pushing pots. We got Minnesota Mike running the action tracker, keeping everything organized for you at home to watch. What do you think about these new color scheme I have? The red text on a yellow background and the 4-color deck. I love it. Let me know what you think. Thank you, Robert Smallwood on Facebook. He says, you're good. We got a $64 in the pot. Paul and Kobe both give up, and Paul just wins with a pair of threes.
Who are you playing next week, Paul? Who are you playing next week?
After 8 hands, a very small sample size, we got the V-Pip. Kobe with 86%. That means I think the math on that is he folded 1 time in that first orbit. Hayden in the 4 seat, 14%. So I think he's only called 1 time. Hero in the 6 seat, brand new to the table. And you can hear Matt and Mike conversing in the background, organizing that game. A lot goes into this behind the scenes to have a stream that you guys can enjoy. So I appreciate Matt and Mike locking in today. Ooh, Kobe with pocket queens. Makes it 15 to go. Action folds around to Chrissy, who calls with an ace-10. Thane folds the 6-3. And we are heads up to a flop of 4-8-9. Pocket queens way ahead. He's going to check for deception. Oh, Thane didn't fold. He called. Oh, and now he's got an open ender. Now Kobe goes ahead and leads out. $15, small bet, a third the pot. And it gets the job done. Gary McNeely in YouTube says, I wish I'd known you were streaming. Gary, you got to follow me on Facebook. I've been talking about it for 3 days.
I thought it was a minimum of 500 buy-in.
It is a $500 buy-in. I wonder if Hero sat down with 300 or something. And that's why people were asking.
Yeah. Thank you.
But that was 15 minutes ago, so they figured it out by now.
I don't want to touch them with the hand. I'm touching the chips.
The only reason I say that is because they were talking about it.
Gum in my mouth. So.
Looks like Jose in the 9 seat has not sat down yet. So
Not good.
we might have an open seat, Gary, if you're in the area. I know the 2 seat was filled by General Manager Harry. Hayden in the 4 seat with pocket sevens makes it $12. P-Dub calls. That's one of our dealers, Paul. P-Dub. I wonder what the P-Dub stands for. But he calls from the 5 seat. Hero calls. Kobe with Ace King makes it $30. Chrissy calls with a Queen Jack suited. We got 5 players to a flop. We call that Texas heads up. $151.
We haven't said anything about it.
Oh, Mac. I didn't know your name was Gary. How you doing, Mac? Yeah. Nobody hits that flop and it checks around. Chrissy hits top pair, but now she's afraid of the ace. And a check on the flop gives Kobe the best hand. $151 in the pot. He bets 50. Chrissy is not going to believe that he just has an ace every time, so she makes the call. Everybody else lets it go. We are heads up. She needs a queen or a jack. Oh, she hits the jack right on the river. Oh, that's going to cost Kobe, if I had to guess, I'd say $150 to $200. Chrissy is acting first. She traps it. She checks. He might just check back. Nope. He's reaching for chips. 75. So is she going to raise with 2 pair? Or is she just going to call? Oh, she does call. He got off cheap. He could have lost more. Nice river card for Chrissy. Up to $800 now. 400 pot going her way. Mac, I don't know how far Waxa away. I don't know how far away Waxa is. We didn't plan this stream. I actually planned on being in Austin for their grand opening this weekend, so I didn't have anything planned, and they had to postpone it. I was down there getting their live stream going last week. They decided to postpone their grand opening until next month, so that freed up this weekend for me, and we decided to just throw together this 1-2 game.
Sorry.
So if you're not on, 45 minutes is quite. I'd hate to have you make that drive, Mac. But if you're not following me on Facebook, let's do that. Jump on Facebook. Just follow me, even if you don't want Facebook. Just follow me so you can see what's going on. Hayden raising again. Ace 3 suited makes it $12 from under the gun. Gets 3 callers. King Jack 5, 2 hearts on the board. Ace high is still the best hand. Yeah, Matt, go follow Poker House Fort Worth, Poker House Austin, Poker House Dallas. Go follow all of my socials and keep in the know when we do something cool. John picks up a flush draw and a straight draw. Open it. Oh, he hits this. Nope, he doesn't hit anything. I thought he hit a straight, but the board paired. And the 7 is just going to win this hand. That could have been so much more. We could have had action on that turn. John limps in, Thane limps in, Hayden checks. We've got the smallest pot of the night right now with a queen, 9 on the flop. Another 9. 2 pair, shared by everybody. Ace high is just going to win this hand. If nobody hits 5 doesn't matter. 3 pair doesn't count. 2 pair with the ace kicker is going to win. They check around, and Hayden just folded the winner. I think he just realized he just folded the winner.
Somebody must have ace.
Yep, he mucked an ace. So the chip counts are going to be off because the computer gave the chips to Hayden, but the dealer gave the chips to the guy who showed 3 pair. Well, at least it was a small pot. Not the first time that's happened on stream, where people accidentally fold a winner, or they accidentally fold what would have been a chop.
Take it off me.
Here's Hero in the 6 seat, white hoodie. Thane limps in with a suited middle connectors, the 7-5. Hayden keeping that aggression frequency up, bumps it up from the small blind with king, queen, gets 2 callers. We got a $51 pot, and Thane is just going to lead out with a gut shot. That's enough to make Hayden fold. Now, I know Thane from playing tournaments. I haven't seen him play cash yet. So we'll see how his cash game strategy differs from his tournament. He regularly makes the final table in our nightly tournaments. And he's just going to win this pot. He's just going to steal it with 7 high. $81 pot. Takes it down with a little bit of aggression. Well played, Thane. General Manager Harry in the building, sitting on seat 2 with his $500. Mike Sewell was going to come, and then he texted me and said he can't make it. His daughter's got a play that he forgot about. But he will be here next week, and then we are playing a 1-3 with $1,000 buy-in, and he's lining it up for me. So all of these players saw it on Facebook or saw it on the live stream this afternoon or were in the room, and they signed up for it today. None of this was planned ahead of time, but Mike is bringing a group of friends to come play next Friday. Mac, I'll see if I can get you a seat on that one if you want it. Ooh, I saw a couple people with aces, and there's ace on the flop. So we got Thane with ace 8, John with ace 5, Harry with no part of this board. John actually shipped our tournament this afternoon. If he looks familiar, that's because he was on the stream 3 hours ago. Ace 8 lets it go. No, there it is. Back up the action. Thane called. And Kobe lets it go. So now we're heads up. Ace versus ace. It's going to be a chop most of the time. Anytime a card comes up above an 8, we're going to chop this up. John's going to show some aggression with his top pair no kicker. 15, oh, what is that, 20? $20 into a $113 pot. Seems a little bit light. Thane makes a call, though. Oh, and a 5! He hits his 2-outer. One of the 5s was folded, so he hit a 2-outer to take this pot. I don't know how much he's going to get because Thane has an ace, but he has a bad kicker. The diamonds come home. Broadway straight is there. That does not stop John from firing. And we're waiting
He's gonna like commentate
for the card to read.
or likes me.
But
It's gonna be a good game.
little technical error where we did not get that card.
Yeah, I
There
know.
it is now. Okay, that's fine. We all know what happened. This is why we're practicing on small games, so that when we play a big game, we don't make mistakes like this.
That's my favorite too. I like the Dark Knight series, but yeah, but I
So who are you guys rooting for on this table? We've got some new players. We got 3 new members to the club who came in just for the live stream. They saw it on Facebook yesterday when I posted, and they wanted to be part of it. Hayden's one of them, Hero's one of them, and Kobe's one of them.
is that the one with Robert Patterson? I haven't seen it.
Kobe makes it 15, gets called by 3 players. Oh, this is going to be a big one. We got a set of 8s from Kobe, 2 pair from Hayden, top pair from Thane. The only guy who's going to get away free is P-Dub, Paul. This is going to be big. All right. Is there a scenario where we do not have $1,000 pot right now in a 1-2 game?
Didn't like was
It's going to be raised. It's going to be re-raised. So Hayden, Thane makes it 20. Hayden calls 20 with 2 pair. He's trapping. Kobe raises to 50 with bottom set. Thane calls with top pair, no kicker. Now is Hayden going to just limp along? Or is his spidey senses going to start tingling? Or is he going to 3-bet? Now remember, I don't know Hayden or Kobe. They're both new to the stream. They're both new to the club. He just makes a call. Oh, wow! Thane just hit 2 pair. Now we got 2 pair versus a set. This is going to be a huge pot. Did I say 1,000?
70.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it's going to be $1,200. Well, we might lose Kobe. We might lose Hayden now. We might lose Hayden. He's got 2 pair, and he's in 3rd place with 2 pair. He's not putting Thane on ace 3 for sure. But something doesn't feel right, and he's going to let this one go. It's hard to fold 2 pair in a cash game. He does call. Kobe's going to beat him into the pot. And, yeah, we're going to have a $1,121 pot. Wow. Lots of action down here in Fort Worth. King changes nothing. Set of 8s is going to win a massive pot. Massive pot. I do believe Kobe was the chip leader going into it. Nope. Thane is left over. Okay, Kobe was the short stack going into it. Hayden has $70 left over. Thane has $46 left over. And Kobe is going to stack $1,100. Wow, what a hand.
ooh, I'm caught on.
What a hand for Kobe. Oh, now let's see what happens. Are these guys going to rebuy, or did they just bring the one bullet? Thane didn't come here
Oh, wait.
to fire one bullet,
Two pair.
so I expect him to rebuy. There's Jackie and
Sorry,
and
I just gotta move my chair. I'm getting caught on it. Yeah, no, it should be good.
Jackie and Jasmine helping get chips.
Yeah, that's
I'm
actually
curious
fair.
as to who
Like ADHD, so I'm constantly.
is buying chips, if it's Hayden or Thane or both. Massive, massive pot for a 1-2 game. $500 buy-in, and in 23 minutes, he's more than doubled up, raking in those red chips. So there's Hayden's money.
Thank you.
I'm not super strict with that 500 max. If he wanted to add 500 and he had 40 behind, I wouldn't be too worried about it. But it looks like he's only going to add 400. This is fun. So Thane is adding on 300 and Hayden is adding on 400. And Jose has not sat down yet. We're an hour into the table. Thane's got the same ace tray. He's going to limp in again. Chrissy checks. So she straddled for 10. We got a 10 deuce tray on the flop.
Oh, where's the top?
So this is,
Is that button on me or?
yeah, you can. It's fun. It's fun. They'll figure it out.
All right, everybody.
General Manager Harry in the commentary booth.
I'm in the booth now.
Explain to me why that happened.
Well,
Or should we wait for it?
one of two things happened. Either I hit and run my own game for a large amount in
So,
the room that I manage.
Here's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else wanted to play and you gave up your seat.
That is a possibility. That is a possibility. We're going to go with that for approximately 12 more minutes.
Sounds great.
So up to 13 more minutes.
We just saw that triple way all in with the set of eights and the two pair and the two pair.
Oh yeah, boy,
Massive
we have had some hands at this table so far.
Lots of action.
Mm-hmm.
Paul in the 5 seat. P Dub is his nickname. What do you know what P Dub stands for?
PW, I believe. Good old first initial, second initial.
I wish I was smart enough to figure that out on my own. Now I feel like an idiot. I thought it meant he doubled up or something, and that's why they called him
P-Dub. P-Dub.
Oh, let's turn this.
Oh, no. Yeah, okay. We got it. I was going to give him the whole horn thing. Yeah, P-Dub. Okay, there you go. That's about as much clever as use of that button as we can get for this moment.
All right. So we got Chrissy with second pair on a very wet board.
Board pair on the river is pretty good for her, though. I think she's
check
checking so that she could potentially call bets.
Right.
And in the end, she just gets the showdown, take her pot.
So my good buddy Mac over in Waxahachie,
he
said, "I wish I would have known about this game," and he's just jumped on Facebook to find out about it.
Well, keep tabs on us. We'll let you know when we're doing them. Sometimes we will do these sort of day of, lower stakes. sign up in the room or with a couple hours notice kind of thing. Obviously, we have our planned streams as well, but we want to do some more of these. It's just sort of like a
I'm
feature.
thinking a couple times a week for the locals that
Yeah.
small. Like a lot of these players at this table asked if they could match a stack, and I said no, 500 max. I saw when those two busted, they didn't quite bust, and I don't know if they Hayden bought in for 400. I don't know if that was because of the strict can't buy in for more than 500 rule, or if he just happened to buy in for 400.
I think after the first bullet, folks are just sort of playing what they feel comfortable
A little
playing.
lower.
Yeah. Chrissy making a 3-bet here with 2 kings, perfectly reasonable.
Nice.
Kobe was mixing it up here with the 4-3. Boy, I remember that. But yeah, we want to have this stream accessible to folks that want to come on down and play it, sort of like day of. Basically, for exactly this situation here with John, in the I guess he's in the 8 seat over there. He final tabled the free roll earlier.
Shipped it.
Yep, shipped it. Went home, watched the stream for an hour, came on back and said, "I got to get back onto the cash game
That was
stream."
so fun.
It was fun for him, and it was also educational for him. He said that he learned a few things watching some of that tournament action. He wanted to come back and play some cash and hear some commentary as well, because that's how he figures he's going to get better. And I certainly agree, and that's the experience that we're trying to foster here with some of these local types that are utilizing the stream to their advantage to sort of learn how they're playing and learn how opponents are playing against them. And this is a hand. That's right. So I got a couple options here with the Queen 10, to be honest, when somebody opens
Small
on the
blind.
button. Yep.
Button raise.
The best thing to do probably is to 3-bet, but I'm a little loosey-goosey today. I just came along for a call, see how it goes. Checks around to Chrissy, who continuations with her middle pair, as you're supposed to do. I give it a call with my gut shot because she bet kind of small. We're still in a 3-way pot here, and Thane also checking his ace.
Oh,
yeah, that's a gin card for the old Queen 10 on the turn there. It checks through though, which was surprising for me, to be honest with you. I obviously wanted some kind of bet to take place, and then I could get in there with a check raise or maybe even just a check call and then barrel the river.
Right.
But instead it checked through, so I fired out a quick bet of $75 on the river here, trying to get some kind of value.
3/4 pot.
Yeah, you can see that's really the type of bet sizing you want to be using in this spot, whether you've got a bluff or whether you've got
Balance your ranges.
hand. Yeah, exactly. Make it large enough that you can get out some of these hands like King 9 if you are bluffing.
Right. Or the Ace 5.
And get paid off. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a hand that you want to get paid off by. Certainly, we do get paid off here. That felt good. Showed up with a sneaky one, the Queen 10.
Thane is not having a good session.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay. All right. Ta-da! Spoiler. It gets better. Stay tuned.
We'll put it that way. Things don't go so well for your boy here after he turns that gut shot.
He looks like a genius right now, though.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I played that Queen 10 like a genius, and
after all that, Thane's only down 300, so he must have been up.
Yep. And I'm in the booth 20 minutes later, so poker's a hell of a game, folks.
Oh, there was one that Hayden folded. There's 2 pair on the board with a 5 kicker on the board. Thane shows his I paired my 5, and Hayden folds ace high, which would have won because the third pair didn't count. And then he sat there and thought about it like, dang it.
So this is the very next hand here. We got a min click open from John in early position. Obviously, I 3-bet the button with my ace king suited. Thane makes a big cold 4-bet out of the small blind, which is obviously very strong, but he's only sitting on about 200 and change, and I got the suited ace and king, so there's really not much else I can do here but
rip it in,
get it all in. Thane calls immediately. Offer him, run it as many times as he like. He chooses one time.
Okay.
And
that was going to be my question.
Yeah.
Hey, see this trick? I top math that between sessions. I said when there's an all in, let's frame those cards.
A very dry flop for me, and he turns me
Yeah.
almost
You
dead.
need a 10.
Did not keep. So
We got shot doesn't come home.
that's step one in the demise of yours truly.
All right.
You fold ace five.
And fucking
Oh
rub
wow,
salt in the
that's what
wound.
they were talking about. Yeah, John folded ace five, so he would have rivered a wheel
Okay.
with that four. But what were you saying about salt in the wound?
I
got him
saw
salty enough
you.
for
I
both
saw
of us.
you lose a bunch of money on the outside table this afternoon, flopping set over set, underset.
You know, not every day is a good one in the poker world, and certainly today is one of those days for me.
A long time ago, I told my wife if I ever flop a set and somebody else has a set, I'm going to lose all my money. That's just what's going to happen.
Yep.
Unless it's a monochrome board, and I can get away from it. But
Sometimes
most
you
of the
can
time,
find a
I'm
way to
not
slow
going to.
down. Yeah, on a
Yeah, if it's a really wet board, I
all
can
hearts,
get away
all
from it.
spades,
But
three flush board, especially if it turns into a four flush board.
then you just hoping to pair the board, so you can.
Mm-hmm.
Then you lose it all when you get a smaller boat.
Kobe really mixing it up here, just flatting with the jack nine of diamonds. Earlier, he put some pressure on with three offsuits.
So he's new to the club. Is he new today?
I believe.
I think
So?
Kobe and the 4 seat Hayden and Hero in the 6 seat. I think they're all new today. They're new to me.
Yep.
But I think they came in to play the stream. Or they just coincidentally came in and found out we had a stream and signed up.
Yeah.
There's 3 of us.
Kobe's open-ended. Fane's middle pair. Top kicker. Chrissy has really no part of this. She needs backdoor flush, backdoor straight.
Mm-hmm. Dane's coming out here with a bet, so she's not going to be able to continue.
If it checks to me by 2 people and I've got any piece of it, and I don't even need that much of a piece, I'm definitely betting. So good job, Thane.
Sure.
She does let it go. We're heads up. Kobe has a lot of outs, so open-ended. King, a jack, an 8. That was not one of his outs. It's a clean card. Changes nothing. 200 exactly in the pot. Oh, it just goes check, check.
Yeah,
okay.
go check on her over there.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, certainly.
I mean,
Kobe's needing to give up here. His opponent can have any sort of hands that are in the top of his range, and Steen definitely just wants to check back and show down his 10.
Yep.
Anything else? Any kind of bet from Ace 10 there would be turning that hand into a bluff.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
Probably a little
you're
bit
only
too
getting
much.
called by, when you're
trying to get a queen to fold if you can, but I don't think as played it would be very likely for a queen 2 fold on that river to a bet of almost any size, maybe an all in.
Did you guys get Snickers? Snickers.
talking about Snickers.
Chrissy's asking me if we re-upped our Snickers inventory. I told her that we had not just yet, but yeah, okay.
How
So
come Jose hasn't sat down yet?
here's a hand. I don't actually know.
Okay.
But so John's got 2 kings, and with the straddle on here, he's going to open to $30. Now this is a chunky size. In a game this size, I would choose something a little bit more like 20 or $25, but 30 is good, especially when you have a fish like me on the line with the 10-9 suited.
Right.
It's honestly too big a bet for me to just be flat calling, but I'm in here mixing it up with the boys, and the girls, and
was your straddle to 5?
the straddle was on, and it was 2-5. I tried to call in position, and here we go. I flopped 3 10s with the 10-9 suited. Great. He bets small, $20 here into a pot of 70. I've got some options. I can raise him and in some ways sort of reveal the strength of my hand. But I want to keep some of the bluffs in his range, and then that happens. Now, the interesting bit here is that what we're going to get out of John is a check raise. Obviously, I'm going to bet a large amount, something like 75.
Yeah, 3/4 pot bet.
Yep, I'm hoping he's got aces, kings, and he snap rips it in on me.
You
now,
rips?
folks, let me tell you something. Hold on.
Wait, let's
Let me see
listen
if
to
you can
this.
hear me.
Kings.
Show me King's Full.
You got one out. That's not
You
it.
did not hit one out.
Did not hit my one out. Just a couple things about this though, for the future, and this is for anybody. It was pretty much that's the way to play it when you have Kings Full. But really, for anybody in spots like these, when you're playing low stakes poker, there are a couple things that should really be red flags for you. The first thing is somebody check raising the turn. And the second thing is somebody bombing into you on the river. In particular, when they're leading with a bomb, or you make a small bet and then they rip it over top of you. One time, a gentleman with a lot of hubris once told me that poker players are cowards, and what he meant by that was basically poker players are savvy enough, for the most part, to be conscious about what they're doing with their money and what they're doing with their bets, and what they're at least operating on the second level of what they think their opponent could have. There are some folks that are just operating on what they have and they're ripping in any two cards, but those guys let themselves be known pretty quickly. If you've got a player who seems to be playing reasonable poker, as John is, and he finds a reason to check raise you for it all on the turn, or bomb it into you on the river, it is very likely that there's a nutted hand there of some variety.
Right.
Couple that with the sizing that he chose pre-flop, this $30 size, also a chunky size, and again, a size that I saw him choose in the cash game this afternoon when he had aces. It let me know that he probably had a pretty strong hand. Now, I've got a great cracking hand with a 10-9 suited.
Right.
I am in position, so this, enticed me to come. But when he check raises it on the turn there's really only two hands that he has. One of them is kings for the King's Full, and the other one is aces that he might be overvaluing because he thinks that I don't have a 10.
Right.
So it's actually not that difficult for me to pull a Daniel Negreanu type thing and put you right on something like
Right.
King's Full.
Right.
And in reality, if it's a bigger spot and something that I'm a little bit more confident that
What
he
was
doesn't
your
have
effective
aces,
stack there? Because you put in
I
75.
put in 75 of about 430.
Oh, you had that much.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
possible that I can fold there sometimes if I truly
I-
believe this read.
Kings again?
But I wasn't going to do it, not for $300 or $400. Now it's final table of a big tournament, and we got tens of thousands on the line, and ICM and all that stuff. Maybe you can find a fold there, but it's only because a player who is generally pretty conservative chose a pretty chunky sizing pre-flop, and then the same thing, small bet got called, and then check raise as a jam on the turn. These are just huge signs of strength, big red flags for really any hand. Now, I'm also really at the top of my range because I just flat this $20 bet here.
Right.
So he can still potentially have aces and play this way and think
Right.
that he's real good.
I
Real
see
good in the
aces
sense that his
doing
hand is
that.
very good.
Yeah.
But really, it's a difficult spot to get away from, even if I am pegging a guy on exactly King's Full, which,
Right.
Again, he's only got two hands there, I think, potentially King's Full and aces. And I just, I could not let it go. So I sort of made a crying call with my 10 there.
He bet 20 on the flop, right? Into a $60 pot, like
20
a third
into
pot.
68 is what
Okay.
it was. 20 into about $70.
So do you think that was a blocker bet, or do you think it was a value bet?
I think he was betting for value there.
Okay.
And
then just crushed it.
Yeah, yep. And then in particular when he's choosing to lead out after a pre-flop raise, and then checking the turn, he's either slowing down as making a choice to slow down with this check on the turn, or he's setting up a big trap like that. So when the trap comes in, it's very rare for players to find bluffs in that spot. Now you could potentially find some bluffs. I forget. I believe there was a heart draw on the board also.
It was two suits.
So if you have like a queen jack of hearts or a queen jack of spades, that's a spot where you can balance the nutted portion of your range with some semi bluffs when you're check raising there. But frankly, low stakes players, all of us, and I'm including myself in this, we don't find enough bluffs in that spot. So it's more than likely we're more likely to play it as a call maybe and just try to get there. But playing it as a bluff is sort of a more high level play, and and I don't think that it's in any of our ranges really at this stage of the game. Now check out some of these 2-5 guys or
Yeah,
these
yeah.
5-10 guys that are playing, and now we're going to find some check raise bluffs on the turn or big over bets on the river that are
Wild
bluffs.
rivers.
But
Yep.
yeah, so that's my breakdown of how I lost $650 in two hands pretty quickly there.
Yeah, that was. I mean, sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug.
Today I was certainly a bug.
Okay, it's good to give back to the community, though. I'm sure they appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope they do. Now we got a shift change coming, so I got to step out of the booth again and
All right, well,
and
thanks.
hand off. But
Always a pleasure.
absolutely happy to share some of my thoughts.
Thank you so much, Harry Corsavini. How close was I?
I mean, you basically just threw a bunch of consonants together and put a vowel at the end.
There we go. Corvesi.
Like Scorsese.
Like Scorsese. All right, I'll get it next time.
You to remember.
I'm not going to. All right, thanks so much, Harry. General Manager Harry Cervasi, and I probably said that wrong after 5 seconds. Chrissy takes down this one with a full house. Deuce is full of sixes. Speaking of full houses, any full house, ace is full, we're giving away, they call it the Casino Royale. They call it the, what do they call it? Monte Carlo board. We've got a Monte Carlo board. Ace is full. Ace is full of deuces. Ace is full of trays. Ace is full of kings. Any ace is full. You get that hand using both hole cards, you win $50. The second person who does it wins $100. So that's on the new promos we're doing every day. And then we've got the flush frenzy going for the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You make 4 flushes using both hole cards between noon and midnight, and you win the jackpot. It starts off at $500. Every day it's not hit, we add $100 to it. This is the 3rd day we did it. We did it Friday, Saturday, Sunday last weekend, and we just started it. Nobody hit it. Unbelievable. Nobody got 4 flushes using both hole cards. So we have 500 that we started with $600, $700, $800 in that flush frenzy. Come play noon to midnight. Get 4 flushes. Get your suits. Get the spades, the hearts, the diamonds, the clubs. Use both hole cards. We don't even put a restriction that it has to be ace high or anything like that. Just get 4 flushes using both hole cards, and you're going to win that jackpot. We're at 800 right now. We're going to add another $100 in about 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever it is. It's 8 o'clock now, so at midnight we're going to add another $100 if it doesn't get hit, and it'll be $900 tomorrow. Stop in noon to midnight. Get 4 flushes. How hard can that be? 4 flushes. We got John here almost hit a flush right now. While we were at this feature table, P-Dub got a diamond flush, like his second hand, I think, and that counts. VPIP, my favorite stat, voluntarily putting money in to the pot. Kobe, 68%, Thane 64%, P-Dub 52%, Hayden down to 36%. He was crushing the aggression frequency earlier, but he's slowed down a little bit after that cooler where he had 2 pair against bottom set and lost his entire stack. He bought back in and took his foot off the gas. If I'm not wrong, that's Vu walking in to sit in Harry's spot. My friend from Minnesota. Yes, sir. He is a tournament crusher here at Poker House Fort Worth. And speaking of tournament crushers, John shipped our tournament this afternoon. He's got $1,000 in front of him.
There's no max. There's no minimum maximum. It's 5.
Yeah, 500. Vu's trying to buy in for 1,000 to match up with John and Kobe, but Matt's not letting him. This is a max buy-in game. This is a small game. It's designed to protect our small stake players.
Cool.
What do you guys think about that? What do you think about those capped buy-in games?
No, but it's five. Five or five. You can only have five.
Ace King for Hayden. Kobe flops a flush draw and middle pair. Hayden's got top pair and the ace blocker. He's got the nut flush draw blocker. Hayden bets 100. Kobe calls 100. Seven of spades. Kobe needs a jack, a 6, or a diamond. He's got 9 outs. We can see a lot of those diamonds have been folded. He rips it in for his last 200. Oh, he calls.
Oh, I missed it.
And he says, I missed it. Ship a pot to Hayden.
Nice, yeah.
770 climbing his way out of that hole.
For the PLO tournament?
I raise, and if he's raised the high, I'm going to call. If I fold, there's no point in playing. Flush over flush.
Had to step outside just for a second. Some players were asking about what were the rules for buying in. Different tables have different rules. In our 1-3 game, it's $1,000 maximum buy-in. In our 1-2 game, it's $500 maximum buy-in. In our 2-5 game, it's match the stack. Sean Kelly on Facebook says, you guys doing a live stream tomorrow too? To be determined. I'm not positive. Are you interested in playing a live stream tomorrow?
No, I don't. I know you do. I didn't realize.
King Jack suited against King Jack offsuit with the AC Deucey thrown in the mix. A lot of numbers on the board when all these guys are playing letters. Whoever's most aggressive is going to win this pot. If I had to put money on it, I would say Vu's going to take it down. But he's being passive, maybe because he just sat down. And P-Dub.
I got the straight flush draw. No, royal flush draw.
Oh, Vu shows his royal flush draw, but Kobe picks it up with ace high. Sean's playing Xbox. Hey, what are you playing on Xbox? Are you playing like some Call of Duty, or what are you doing? What Xbox games are you playing?
I feel so much better.
Aggression frequency, Vu at 100% with his one hand. NHL, all right. I'm not a big video game guy. I used to be back when it was Mario Brothers on Super Nintendo. We're good, boo. We're good. Makes it 15. Did I tell you he's the most aggressive player at the table? He's going to have fun. Runs into Chrissy with the ace and the J. Ooh, 3 bets it to 45 from the hijack. That's going to clear the field. Kobe, ace 8 suited. He's got the dead man's hand. Poker Monkey in the house. We don't do points with this software. How are you doing, my friend? There's an ace and a J. I think Kobe might get in trouble. Top pair, no kicker versus top 2. Vu can get away from this. Kobe sets the trap by checking the flop. Chrissy bets 45. Kobe calls. He is drawing dead. She's got a full house now. I want to see a check back. Check, check. Nice. Good job, Chrissy. Good job. Queen. Now Kobe might think he's chopping it with another ace. They got aces and jacks with a queen kicker. Check. 228 in the pot. Let's bet 75. Ooh, it's big. 125. 125. I love the bet. I love the bet. He does call. Good job. You made $50 more than I would have. Boom.
No, because it's jacks full of aces. I need aces full of jacks.
That's correct. Aces full of jacks would have got her a Monte Carlo prize. She's got jacks full of aces. Exactly right, Chrissy. Good job. Explain my promo for me.
I'm adding on 200.
Yeah, so they're doing the
Oh, but
they're doing the
she had an
flush
ace for sure. I
so
didn't
if
see
you
the
get a
jack.
flush, turn it over.
Yep, he's saying I knew she had an ace. I
Yeah.
didn't think she had a jack. I thought we were splitting it with a queen kicker. Man. Yeah. Well, you know, it's a volatile game. Sean Kelly on Facebook says Kobe is dwindling after that trip 8's hand. Yes, he is. John's doing well. Makes it 12 to go. Vu calls with a queen deuce suited. Action's going to fold around to Hayden with the king and the jack. A-Dub makes a call with ace 4. Hero with a queen jack suited. We got 5 players to the flop. Little $60 flop pot going on here. Deuce tray 5. P-Dub just flops the wheel. %83 chance of winning this hand right now. Vu makes it 40 to go with bottom pair. Paul just calls. Ooh, another 4. That means he's chopping with any other ace and losing to a 6. And there's a king. Will Vu bluff at it? There's 3 spades on the board. Paul gives up like a coward, Paul. You got to value bet that river when Vu checks to you twice. I'm just kidding. Paul is one of our fabulous dealers here at Poker House Fort Worth. Phenomenal tournament player. I first met him the first couple of weeks we were open when he final tabled like every night. Let's play a game. It is hand 30 right now. What will the pot be on hand 33? Let's make it a quick game. You've got 3 hands from now. What will the pot be? Closest one gets 5 free hours. Okay? Without going over, the closest one to the pot size gets 5 free hours. 325 from Matthew Veal. That's a guy that can use 5 free hours. He's in here all the time. I think Matt's on the schedule for next Friday's live stream, if I'm not mistaken. Sean Kelly drops it down to 105 for the pot size. Let's see. Kobe with a pair of 10s. We got P-Dubs with the spade draw. I think Ace King for P-Dub. He had the spade draw and the gut shot. He's got Broadway on a very wet board. He's going to bet 75. It's Vu with who just rivered a better hand than he had. He had a straight draw. Now he rivers second pair, and he wonders if it's any good. It's not good. He knows it's not good. Not against Paul. But he hates to fold. Let's listen to this. See if Vu has it coming. Just because it's you. He does show. How do you guys feel about showing? I show in that situation because I want to reward my opponent for folding. I want to show them the best hand. I very rarely show bluffs because I want them to fold. I want them to always fold and just always assume that I have it. So if I don't show you, there's a good chance I bluffed you that hand. Because I like to show my winners. I like people to think that I always have it. I like people to think that I'm lucky. And I like that image. Only 3 guesses. Orlando says 275. Sean says 105. And Matt says 325. We got 24 people watching across the different platforms. And we only have 3 people who want that $55 5 for 55 hours. Those of you not in Texas who are not familiar with Texas poker, we do not rake like they do everywhere else in the world. We do not rake the pot. We charge an hourly fee to come play. Most places, let's say they rake $5, $6, $7 a hand. So in the course of 30 hands, they're let's say you win 1 in 10 hands, right? So in an hour, you're going to win 3 hands. At $6 a hand, that's $6, $12, $18. That's $7 a hand, that's $21. We charge $13 an hour. So if you win more than, let's say, 1.5 hands per hour, you're way better off paying time than you are paying a raked game. And if you buy in bulk, like 5 hours, you can get it down to $11 an hour, 5 for 55. That's what I'm going to give whoever wins this hand, or this little game we're playing. What's the pot size on hand 33? You're going to get 5 for 55. John's got middle pair, top kicker. Vu's open-ended. Hero's got a gut shot. He needs an 8. Oh, he needs a what? Now Vu is open-ended with a pair. He thinks his hand just got better, but he is hoping to split it if with a 10 coming out. Ooh, raises it up. It's a wet board. There's 2 flush draws out there, so I don't blame him for denying Vu some equity. But that's going to make it easy for John to fold. Oh! Oh, all in and a call. No. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought he said all in. That third spade came out, and they slowed down. So Vu bet 55, and Hero made it 173, and a weird bet size. It must have been just what he had left in his stack. And it worked. It got Vu to call off with a pair and an open-ender. Martin's guessing 90. Apparently he has not been watching the stream. I don't think we've had a pot under $90 yet. I'm not going to lie. I like Matt's side of this at 325. We've had several 4-digit pots. I know. You guys are saying it's a 1-2 game, but you don't understand. It's a 1-2 game in Texas. We got you, Hero. 4 deuce. You ain't playing that. He's too busy stacking chips. Kobe makes the call with a 9-5. Vu's in the small blind. He's going to bump it to, looks like a dozen. Yep. Chrissy in the big blind. Going to defend with a pair of the crabs. She's got 3s. A lot of big cards out there. We can see Vu let out for $20 with a double gut. He needs an 8 or a queen, and picks up the pot.
Does that say Vegas 4, Rangers 1? Jesus.
That was a smaller pot. All right, here we go, guys. Hand 33. Lock it in. Lock it in before the button gets the second card. Lock in your number. We got 90, 105, 275, 325. Somebody's going to get an extra 5 hours to play. But 265 from Bobby. It's a very small window you have, Bobby. 265 to 274. Because Orlando picked 275. But I like your window. If I were you, I would have went like 106 and just totally nixed Sean, but we're too late now. Let's see what we're going to do. Kobe makes it 20 with ace-jack suited. Vu calls with queen-6 suited. He does not want to flush. All right, well, we are heads up with the 2 most aggressive guys at the table, so there's still a chance to be big. BT, you're too late. Actually, I'll give it to you for 88 because you have exactly 2 numbers, the 88 and the 89, because Martin's got 90. A lot of nothing. I think. Oh, is everybody? If this pot does not get above 88, we'll redo it for hand 40. Vu's got a queen. 3 queens. Ace jack. 145. Okay, so BT's out. Martin's out. Sean's winning right now. 185. Sean. 105 is going to win this. Ace jack can't call. If Vu bets, it does not count if it's not called. Right now, the pot is 185. He looks at his chips, and Kobe folds. Sean with 105, you win.
Yeah, the two.
5 for 55. I will go add it to your account.
Seriously?
Next time you come in here, you're gonna have an extra 5 hours on your account, buddy. That's fun, isn't it? You are certainly welcome. Thanks for watching. Thanks for participating. Hey guys, remember, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, like, share, subscribe. It really helps the algorithms. A lot of these comments, get your friends watching. It helps us out. When we start streaming in Austin, we're going to be streaming on the same channel, I think. I don't think we're going to have separate channels. When we start streaming,
Does he still do concerts?
that's all I'll say about that right now. We've got a lot of stuff coming up in the works, guys. It's going to be fun. Super fun.
I'm super poor, dude. Oh,
Bull crap. Bet you $1.
All right.
Me? Oh, the diamond draw one?
Hey, Sean Kelly, this is for you.
Chasing these
There you
flush.
go.
Flop too good. Flopping straight, flopping suited, and just this dang flush mania thing is killing my.
Oh yeah, the flush mania, the flush frenzy. He's talking about. He's playing so many suited cards just to hopefully get that $800 bonus for making 4 flushes. Make every flush, you're gonna win. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go. All right. Kobe makes it 25. John calls with hearts, looking for that flush frenzy. Thane calls with diamonds. I wonder how much their game is influenced. There's the diamonds.
Conversation? I think she did. Oh, you gonna make her walk all the way over here for it?
He's got the flush draw. John bets 25 with his open ender. Thane calls. John. Remember, if you're just tuning in, John shipped the tournament this afternoon tournament. Saw himself on the final table live stream when he got home. Came back and said, "Is there a seat open? I want to play again." Everybody misses everything. And Queen High is just going to be the best hand if John gives up. Yeah, he gives up. Now, Thane, he's got the best hand, but he thinks he has to bluff at it to win. Nope, he's just going to show down Queen High and pick up the pot. $180 going Thane's way with Queen High. I'm going to try this new fancy thing. Let me know. I mean, not let me know. I'll let you know if this works. I'm going to invite Harry. Harry's been here all day, and he just left after getting his teeth kicked in. So I'm going to invite him to the live stream and see if he can remote commentary. It's brand new to me. I've never done this before, so let's give it a shot. Sean says Chrissy was a diamond flush short 2 weeks ago. She had the draw in the last 10 minutes but missed. Oh, what a sweat! Noon to midnight. Get 4 flushes. How hard is that, guys? John's got clubs. Chrissy's got spades. P-Dub's got clubs. All right, it's a rainbow board. 7-8 queen. No clubs. Imagine that. Ace high is winning this pot. She's going to lead out. I love it.
Is it the PLO tournament?
She's just going to fire $35 and pick up a nice $117 pot with ace high. Just pure aggression. Good job, Chrissy.
Right. Right.
She's got 1.12
Game over there right now?
chips.
Cash game? Cash game over there?
1,100 chips. $500 max buy-in. Now the thing is, Kobe's just down a little bit, and Vu's down a little bit. Everybody else is up, thanks to our good friend Harry, who donated his $500 buy-in. The math isn't working out. Did somebody else leave? Because everybody can't be up. Vu makes it 15 with ace 7, and P-Dub calls 15 with king 10. They have a history together, obviously. P-Dub outflops him with a king high flop. Vu checks, P-Dub bets 20, and a quick fold. Let's see if he shows again. Nope. Don't ask, don't tell. Oh, seat 4 is down 250, not up 250. Okay, that's where the math worked out. Thank you, Matt. Guest commentary from the sidelines. Sean says everybody's up from Harry's donation. Everybody's up more than the $500 that Harry donated, though. I guess if we did the math and got the other 2 players who are down 250 or whatever it is, that might be the $1,000 that's spread out amongst everybody. It's math. Math is hard. Hey, look at this. All right. I'm going to turn this on. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hey, guys, in the chat, let me know if you can hear Harry. Because I can hear him. I'm not positive that you guys can hear him.
You didn't see my dirty apartment, did you? Briefly.
Nobody else does, but I can see it still. Nobody else can see it.
Great. Well.
So, yeah, we're talking about your donation. Can you see the chat also?
Indeed. Let me see. Messages from
On the right-hand side of the screen, the bottom icon says chat. If you click on that, it'll pull up right next to your screen.
I think I've got chat. Oh,
can you see everybody talking?
Private chat. Are there people talking right now?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm not seeing it.
All right, on the very right-hand side,
Mm-hmm.
the bottom corner says need help.
Yes.
Above that, it says chat, music, QR code, captions.
I do not have those options.
Oh, you don't have those options. Let me snap a picture of it so you can see it. I'll send you this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to text you that. And
here, I'll show you what I'm looking at here. Just sent it to you on Facebook.
All right. Missing this flop. Let's see. Kobe was open ended. P Dub's got a full house. Second time we've had a full house. Oh yeah. Okay. So there's you have the chat up there. That's perfect. So somebody say something so that Harry can see it. So you just haven't seen the most recent one.
Yeah, I think, let's see, 2037. Yeah, I came in about 30 seconds after that most recent one from,
Right on. All right.
from Sean Kelly.
Speaking of Sean Kelly, we played a little game. We played What Will the Pot Be on 33. Can you see Matt's text right there?
Yeah, yep, I got that one.
All right, so we played a game called What Will the Pot Be on hand 33, and without going over it, Price is Right style, and we had guesses of 88, 90, 105, 265, 275, and 325. The pot was just under $200, so Sean Kelly wins 5 hours of time. So
5 hours of time?
5 for 55.
That sounds good. That sounds like a nice prize for guessing that number.
These guys all chatting.
Good for you, Sean. I'll be able to. Actually, you guys are there. We'll get you.
Yeah, I'll credit
5 hours time before I leave.
Yep. He said he was going to be on the stream tonight, but he's doing a marathon Xbox with his daughter. So this remote commentary is.
Well, that sounds like more fun than coming down here and having to donate. That's for sure. That's just what I did. But how is my audio? Because I don't have a headset or anything. I'm just talking in my.
It's not horrible. It's just a little bit echoey, but not bad. It's not echoey. It's just I can tell you don't have a microphone.
Okay.
But it's fine.
Let me maybe I can position this a little bit.
And the viewers that don't have to listen to just me is really good for them.
That's
they're like no, the tinny sound is fine. Yeah, Matt Veal says sounds like you're on a speakerphone. Yeah, exactly. You know, we can just tell you don't have a microphone.
Well, now that this is a thing, I think I'll get
invest
myself
in
a headset. Yeah. This is cool. I'm just here in my pajamas.
This is so
commentating poker from my house. So now I really have no work-life balance, and the end is nigh. But
what we can also do, this enables us to get commentators from, you know, your friends from Vegas could jump on if we wanted
that to. Is exactly what I was thinking. As I was just thinking right now, who could I text that would potentially jump on? Let me see if I'm going to share this on Facebook here. And
the old work from home casual.
See if anybody I know wants to stop in and hang out for a little bit. Some of these guys, they're not Texas guys. They don't understand Texas poker.
Right,
We're talking about things we don't want to talk about. Like 3-betting ranges. Although I do a fair bit of that myself. Both 3-betting and talking about 3-betting. All right, what's going on in this poker hand here? We've made it to the river. Doesn't look to be a very connected board.
Well, Kobe's going to win with like third pair.
Kobe's got a pair. That's going to be good.
Yeah, not a lot happened.
Not as $225, but not a lot happened.
Yeah. It's we were talking earlier about the impact of having that flush frenzy. So many people are calling with suited cards just to get that flush.
Yeah, I mean, you know, to be honest, people that have frequented rooms that have lots of promo opportunities, that very much becomes the culture. And whether you're gunning for a high hand or you're gunning for a particular set of quads, or in our case, all the flushes, it definitely doesn't have an impact on gameplay, and that impact is almost never players playing less hands.
Right.
It's always going to do good things to the action.
That's what we need in Texas, is to drive some action.
Yeah, exactly.
Monte Carlo board. Monte Carlo is weekdays, Monday through Friday?
It's actually every day of the week.
Saturday, Sunday, everything.
From noon to midnight, come in and you hit a high hand that's on that board, which has been appropriately updated. I know we had a little bit of a typo there for the first little bit, but we got that corrected. So any hand that you see on that board that you hit with 2 whole cards playing, now the quads have to be a pocket pair that hits, but you will win the first posted prize, the prize in blue. And then the second time in a day that happens, you'll win the red prize. These values range from $50 all the way up to $300, depending on the strength of the hand that you hit.
Perfect. I'm more excited about the Flesh Frenzy, if I'm being honest.
I think a lot of people are. I think it may be something.
100. Yeah.
Like, we just want to talk operations for a second. We may extend that Flush Frenzy a little bit, and then we'll see how folks like the Monte Carlo board.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a lot of talking about the Flush Frenzy, and a lot of questions are being asked about the Monte Carlo board. And that's about where we're at right now.
Right. It's new to this area. That's what the players were kind of excited about. They're like, this is the only club doing something like this. The other clubs aren't doing this. This is cool.
Yep.
And then that with the noon to 3 free play. That's exciting. Now, that's a question. Since the clock is turned off from noon to 3, do the promotions still run? Yes?
Yes. The promotions require 5 players to be dealt into a hand at the table. But in spots where they're not paying time for free, based on a house promo, the promo would still apply. Yes. If we do get to a situation, let's say we're starting a game and it's like 11 o'clock. Well, I guess that would be outside the window. But if it's a 4-handed game, which, sometimes we don't charge time when we're just trying to, get our games going. It's pretty standard. In those spots, that's usually only happening because there are 4 players or less in the game. And in that spot, you wouldn't be promo eligible, but the second that you get to 5 players, whether you're paying time or not, and you should always be paying time unless you're during the promo window.
That makes sense. And for the people not in Texas, I explained what paying time was, where we don't rake the pot. We charge by the hour, and it's way better if you're good at math. It's way better if you're a winning poker player to pay the $13 than it is to pay 3 hands of rake.
Yeah, the rake is a disguised fee in that it's taken out of pots that you win, so it only impacts you when you're winning, but it costs much more. So that's the balance. And time rake is something that you'll find in a lot of different places. Lots of them in Vegas, or sometimes some places.
Is it usually like the PLO games or the bigger games that take longer?
It's exactly what it is. If the hands have a longer average duration, it can be better to
not making enough. Yeah. Is that you?
I think that might have been me.
Okay, you've got mail.
Yeah, I guess that's a thing, huh? I should close everything else down. Now people know if they start spamming my messages. Ding, 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 ding.
All right, we are in hand 42.
Yep, looks like the straddle was on here from Paul into the gun. We got at least 2 callers. Waiting for all the hands to be read.
Yeah. Somebody didn't do it. Oh, there it is. He's like, there we go. That's everybody.
The culprit is pretty easy to identify.
Yep.
It's lit up.
The guy who's not green.
Exactly.
All right, so we have an $8 pot, $13 pot, $18 pot.
Oh, Vu showed up in the 9 seat. Great to see Vu.
Yeah, love Vu.
Yeah.
Oh, and Scott just popped in and said Mac's gonna sit down.
Nice.
So he made the 45. He jumped in his car and made the 45-minute trip to come play on this stream for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how long you want to let this run, but I'm here at the house.
I've got nothing to do. I've got nothing to do. If they want to keep playing, I'll let them keep playing.
Yeah.
We had a late start because of a technical difficulty on our RF poker. Had a little glitch, so I missed the first half a dozen hands. So if they want to play for another hour, I got nothing going on.
So it looks like Paul flopped a gutter, the bottom end of the gutter that this board can provide, and Hero's got the very top end. So Paul bet, Hero called. Nobody's got any flush draws. Kobe is sitting behind him all with top pair, and then Vu's in there fourth into the pot with a pair of tens trying to improve. He's open
And he's
ended.
open-ended now, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So he picked up some equity. It checks through. Good spot for Vu to bet. See if he can take down the pot with a pair of tens.
70 is a good chunky bet.
Yeah.
Now the pot says 83. That is a glitch in the software. It's way over that.
Kobe's hanging on to top pair here on a board that's pretty flush draw heavy and certainly well connected. Did he rip it in? He might have ripped it in and gotten called right away by Vu.
Oh,
River runs out of brick.
He makes it 209. And,
Kobe, great decision to get it all in there on the turn.
Yeah.
Check raised the turn with a hand that wasn't nutted, so that's the exception that proves the rule from what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah,
But honestly, it's a great spot to sort of take a look at like player profiles and like who's making what type of decision. Kobe is a guy where you might see him check raising the turn a little bit wider than somebody with a more conservative player type.
So he bet 800, but effectively it was only another 150 because Vu bet 75 and only had 200 behind.
That's right. So I think if he was a little deeper, you wouldn't have seen a check jam from him.
Right.
Because it would have represented a much larger size. But just hanging on to the top pair there for an extra $125, it's better to get it in there.
Yep. Well played. I'm impressed with his play today. Like I said, he might not be new to the room, but I've been gone for a week down in Austin, and I haven't seen him before. But he's playing really well. Chris has got a pair of nines. I don't know if I mentioned to you or if it was while you were gone, but she had 3 flushes and missed the diamond flush 10 minutes before midnight last weekend.
Yeah, she's our front runner so far for closest to the jackpot.
Dealer Pete up here. AA against 9.
She's got a standard open with 2 9s. Also choosing that big sizing pre-flop of 30. Gets 3-bet to exactly 3x by Paul with 2 aces. And let's see what the flop brings. Oh man,
wow.
For 2 9s, she's not going anywhere.
And he's just going to rip it, right? Oh, no.
No, I think they're a little bit too deep for anybody to do any ripping here. But he is going to come out with a big bet, $100 into.
I didn't realize he had
60% pot size bet. Chrissy's going to check call here.
Yep. 5, 9, 10. Now, if you look up at the top, a lot of those cards have been folded. 6 pairs of the board.
Oh, it shows you the ones that are out of play now?
Yeah, the faded ones. So it shows 6 outs when we think,
oh my God,
the boat.
That's a card that can potentially allow Chrissy to get away from any kind of riverbed here. Or maybe she wants to try and represent it. That would be a bad idea, Chrissy. But if she thinks her opponent has kings or queens, which certainly play similarly to the way Paul has played his aces.
Well, Paul leads for 100 on the river. And now she's thinking.
Oh, she's in position. Yep.
Yeah, she's in position. I don't expect to raise it all.
No, this is a card that. No, I can't hear her. What she's saying?
I can't hear her either. She's not. Her mic might have died. So I had these mics on for the final table, so some of them are starting to die. That's just me not knowing the battery life that I should charge them between uses. So I'm losing. I lost the table mic.
Nice fold in the end there from Chrissy, and really not a like that pot could have been larger given the 2 holdings there and the way that flop went. So good on her also for losing somewhere close to maybe the minimum.
Yeah, if I flop an open ender with the overpair, I'm definitely putting money into that pot.
I think honestly the only way she could have lost just a little bit less in the pot is if the open size had been a little different. But if you're choosing 30 with a straddle on to 5, then you're choosing 30. And as long as you're balanced in that choice in these cash game environments, um, you can choose 20, 25, or 30, and have that be
I
not too
like it.
far from optimal. Who's got an ace, so he's raising it up. And considering we had an opponent fold looked like ace 9 in position, that seems like a good idea. Kobe's definitely got a hand to defend with from the straddle position. Effective big blind. This flop is all vu. We
43
continue
in the
large. Large. It's interesting to choose such a big size there. It's such a dry board that the hands that are going to continue with you, I wouldn't expect many people to want to pay a big price unless they also have an ace. And when you have ace deuce, definitely you've got that second redraw with the 5 because you've got a wheel draw. But really, I don't know that I would be wanting to play a hand against the hand that wants to call a bet of that size. Get me a bottle of water here, which I have the freedom to do because I'm in my own living room. This is great. Modern advancements in technology.
I'm seriously super excited about this. I've been live streaming for 20 years, and this is the first time I've done remote broadcasting like this. John with the ace jack against Hayden's. Oh, Hayden let go of the king jack. Oh, that good fold. He could have gotten him in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's what you get really when you keep a conservative player profile. A lot of times players are going to know to release some of their middling or upper middling strength hands.
Right. Hayden was weird.
Defend them. Kobe is not that guy, however.
No, Kobe's not that guy.
No.
He's going to raise it up.
He's putting John to a little bit of the test here.
I don't love ace jack anymore.
Yeah, I don't love it against anybody maybe but the guy who seems to be looking like someone who might put a 3-bet on like this. Also, you've got position. If you're out of position, I think you got to fold this every time.
Ooh, wet board.
John's got a pretty decent-sized diamond. Check makes a lot of sense from both players on this flop.
Niner.
Now, this might provoke Kobe into betting just a little bit, but it shouldn't really. He should be check calling if he thinks his 9 is good here, maybe, or just turning this hand into a bluff. It's basically as if he has any 2 cards. Are we gonna get a little raise from John here, just to see where he's at? Looks like it. A little min click from John in position. Boy, he mixes it up. I love it.
So Paul just pocketed $60 from Scott. I wonder what that was about. Is there any kind of promotion where he would have won $60?
Not that I know of.
My guess is he needed time.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That makes sense too. Speaking of time.
That's another transaction that happens.
Yeah. And speaking of time, industry rate, if you're a dealer, if you work in a card room or a casino, and we're going to give you 2 for 1. You buy an hour of time for $13, we're going to give you 2 hours. We still do that, right?
Absolutely, we do. Yeah. Do us a favor and have some sort of
documentation.
Something, if you got a badge or a name tag or something, that helps. At a minimum, we're going to ask you, what house you work at, and then I'll
Right.
follow up with that pretty regularly.
I
But
did.
yeah, industry rate for the lifeblood of the industry.
Love
Poker
it.
people who also play.
Also, free memberships for first responders and veterans.
Yes, indeed.
Taking care of those that take care of us.
Always. Kobe looked like he put in a 3-bet from the small blind here with the 5-4 offsuit.
Yeah, he made it 30 to go, and everybody let it go. Very aggressive. I like Kobe's play. But I was saying Hayden was very aggressive in the beginning, and I would love to see his VPIP. The software doesn't let me choose what stats we see; it just randomly shows me stats. But when the VPIP comes up, I want to see what Hayden is at, because his aggression frequency and his VPIP are probably the same, because I don't think he's limped very often.
Well, that's the way to do it, really.
Optimal poker.
Good enough to call, good enough to raise. Put that pressure on the opponent.
Thane with the king, queen suited. Limps in for the $5.
Just limped it in there. Now, honestly, king, queen suited, not a bad hand to take multi-way. And sometimes in these games, it can get a little wild. You might not want to get blown off of an upper strength hand like this one, which is ultimately still king high.
And you don't want to bloat the pot out of position.
Exactly. I'm still open it up here because now we're like 6 ways to this flop, where we could be like 3 ways to this flop, and then have an opportunity to sort of win some of these pots post flop. Now he does turn a diamond draw here.
Who's got the or P Dub's got the straight?
Turns a diamond draw here. Comes along
Flush draw.
to
Thane's
a
got a
bet from Chrissy. Chrissy made it to 15. Thane called, and then P Dubs, who turned a wheel and I missed it, because there it is, the wheel, making it $45. Now John's got himself a club draw still. Thane's not going anywhere. Chrissy knows her deuces are no good. And this is going to be a heck of a river card. The 3 clubs. Bad card for our wheel. Great card for John. Let's see how he plays it.
Yeah. Paul does have the ace of he just checks. Tricky, tricky.
Ooh, I don't know what he did there.
Maybe it wasn't a check. It looked like a check from
It
the
looked
side.
like he went from a semi-closed hand to like an open halfway tomahawk that never made the check motion.
Right. And
You came about as close to a check as you possibly could.
Fires out 50 and P Dub calls.
Yeah. Which isn't honestly the worst.
This is a great game.
Obviously, it feels bad when that club comes in on the river there, but John chose to decide how much money they would play for on the river when he let out, and he chose $50 and do a 200 pot.
Mm-hmm. Really, really good day for John with no H.
Highlander John. It can be only one.
For those of you who are not in the in the know, if you did not watch the final table live stream, there was a John with an H and John without an H sitting right in the 6 and the 7 seat, and they were in a lot of pots together. So we said John raised and John called and John. So it was
not only that they got down to 3-handed, so it was like the Johns were the majority of the actions being taken. It was John and then here John.
You just start calling him green coat John and blue coat John.
We started,
So Jasmine is updating the flush frenzy board in the background. Somebody hit a flush. How excited. $800 just for getting 4 flushes today.
That's right. $900 tomorrow if it doesn't get hit. And it's going to keep going. $100 every day that doesn't get hit. When it does get hit, it reseeds at 500.
P Dub with the king, Chrissy with a 10. Everybody afraid of that ace. 5 changes nothing. Got a little $28 pot. Quite possibly the smallest pot of the night. Stack sizes. Mac, my man, just sat down with 500. There is
Is
no.
this the Mac from previous live streams?
Yeah, my man. He jumped on YouTube and said, "Oh man, I wish I knew you were playing." And I said, "You got to follow us on Facebook, Mac." So he went and downloaded Facebook and followed us, and he said, "I can be there in 45 minutes." And I didn't think he was serious, and then he showed up. So it's very fortunate that somebody
Very serious man.
and left him a seat.
Yeah. Well,
Love Mac.
always working for others.
There he is in the 2-seat with the derby hat. Great guy. He played.
A derby hat, or that's not a bowler hat? The bowler hats are
No.
they're turned up at the. They're like
Yeah,
more
yeah.
brims,
like a villain on the cartoon. Villain has the bowler hat.
the double side bill. You can't see the. Only Eric has the benefit of seeing the.
I can click a button and everybody can see it if you want.
No, thank you.
No, we won't do that today. We got to get the green screens up.
I gotta get somebody over to clean my apartment first, because Lord knows.
I know a girl.
Well,
Mac with the ace king makes it 65. First hand in, sits down with big slick, juices it up. If you don't know Mac, you might think he's old man coffee. However, I do know Mac, and he's the farthest thing from it. Vu's going to come along with 10-7.
is he really?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I believe it. I totally believe you saying that, because I've had the benefit of watching Mac on like 2 or 3 streams now, and for the first stream, I definitely fell into the trap of believing that he was old man coffee.
Yep.
And then the second one, he was mixing it up, and I couldn't tell if that was like an adjustment that he had made based on his experience the first one, but it sounds like that's maybe something that he had planned.
He's got gears.
Yeah.
And then he just happens to flop all of it, with 3 kings.
Oh, yeah.
VPIP, here we go. Vu 83, Kobe 71, Hayden 24% VPIP. I want to see aggression frequency next, and I'll bet you Hayden's at 30% again. The lowest VPIP, the highest aggression frequency, are the balanced. I'd like to be able to control this software so I could see what I want when I want to see it.
Yeah.
But
Vu getting in there with the 83% VPIP over 23 hands, giving Kobe a run for his money. Although he's holding strong, 71 over 49 hands. That's right about the point, honestly. 50%, or excuse me, 50%, 50 hands is right about the point where you can start to.
Now it starts to become relevant.
Yeah, you can start to rely on some of that data a little bit.
Yeah, if you see the VPIP after 1 orbit, I mean, you could have
Doesn't mean anything.
You could have got hands for 1 orbit. It doesn't matter at all. Thane with 2 jacks.
I
promise.
So that's where the 3-bet came from. P-Dubs made it 17 with 7-6 of hearts. Got a call from a suited queen 10. Kobe with an ace. Vu with anything at all. And then Thane makes
in an Uno card.
Exactly. 52 over and open to 17 with 4 players in the pot. Pot size there is 68. He makes it 52.
This is an above
a
average.
little larger, and I think because he didn't is the reason that we're going so many ways to this flop.
Look at all these A's. Kobe just flops everything.
Even Kobe gets in there because of this $52 bet that was made. If this bet was $70, $75, that's a way to take this hand down pre-flop, or maybe just get a call from.
So very dry board.
Although Vu turns open-ended. Oh, baby. This is how...
Is Vu still here? No, Vu folds to the 50 on the flop. Okay. Yeah. When Kobe called, Vu let it go.
There we go.
I mean, he would have...
I just presume that he's in the pot at all.
Yeah. And check on the turn. Thane bets 50, and he just calls on the river for another 50. Interesting.
Ooh, I'm getting a phone call from Scott W. Hang on a second here.
Okay. Now you can mute yourself, or I can mute you. Oh, he muted himself. All right. Pre-flop raising. Kobe, 34%. Let's find Hayden, 18%. All right. Remember, he had a 23% VPIP, 18% pre-flop raising. Those numbers are very close to each other. That means he's playing optimal poker. Hero, 0% pre-flop raising. When you watch this, Hero, you need to be raising more pre-flop instead of limping as much. You need to be raising more to get more players out of the pot. Kobe with the ace jack suited. He's going to raise it to 20. John's going to fold. Vu has an ace, so he's going to call. Mac
All
with
right.
a king and a Q.
Did I effectively mute myself?
You did, yes.
Okay, good. That was a question from our shift manager about the Monte Carlo promotion.
Perfect.
We had somebody hit a high hand, and the way that it works in order to get that second prize is that a high hand has to be hit 2 times within that 12-hour period there.
Right.
And
So did somebody win like a hat?
Yeah, exactly. Somebody won a hat.
Okay.
Because
So
we still
somebody won
want
the first time again.
to offer a prize for the first time again.
Is that you got a train behind you?
Oh Jesus! Okay. Hold
No,
on.
that's fine.
Yeah, there's a train that runs by my apartment, which I didn't know about until my first day in the apartment. So
Splitting
that
it with
was-
the 9 high straight. And see how much money they're going to get in the pot. All of it, right?
I don't know about
There's
all.
not a situation where they don't raise all in.
There is a 10-9 that exists potentially. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
Vu
not
might
gonna
pump
Move
it.
for $300 in there.
Yeah, no, I think they just.
Yeah, bet, shove, call would be my guess.
How much is Vu on? 262. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. So Vu value bet 95 and P-Dub just called. Playing the passive route. All right.
Well, and Paul is the one of the two that I would expect to take that route. That's why
Really?
I thought maybe we wouldn't get it all in here.
Because Vu could
9
definitely
exists.
have a 9-10. I was thinking Paul leads out for 95 and Vu rips it in for 300 and then Paul calls. That would have been my scenario of how that hand plays out. But he check called, taking the passive route to chop it up.
Paul
Poker
is an
helps
industry veteran, so he's
Yeah.
seen a lot of blood spilled at the poker table, and so he knows to check when the potential 10-9 is out there. I think
Mhm.
he's seen it. He's seen it too many times.
We got Poker House Austin in the chat. What's happening, my friend?
Oh, I wonder who that is. I wonder if that's Anthony.
I would guess Anthony if I had to wager.
Taking care of some of our social media stuff down there. Got a chance to
It
meet
could
him this
be-
past week. Awesome fella.
My second guess is going to be Action Andy. If I get 2 guesses.
I played a little Chinese with Action Andy actually, and convinced him that I was a fish, and then demonstrated as such.
Yes?
Although I managed to get very lucky and go to fantasy on my first hand.
Whee! It is Anthony working the front desk tonight. All right. Hey, just for fun, pull it up on the old YouTube and share it around your room. Anthony?
Yeah.
What is your flush frenzy down there? You've been running a little longer than we have. I think you're.
I think they're up to 11,300 down there.
That's a huge number.
Now they're seeding daily, $300.
It's awesome. It's a bigger market.
Yep, and they also have a 7-hour window to hit it in, so from
Right
4
on.
p.m. to 11 p.m.
Look at this one. Paul's got bottom 2 pair on a super wet board. There's a 4-liner and 3 diamonds, and man, anybody super aggressive can steal this from him. And Kobe's the guy to try. Only 121 in the pot. Paul's going to snap this one off. Actually, this looks like a jack. He bet $80 into
Yeah,
a $120 pot. This looks like a jack. I've got
Paul
a
is
jack.
someone who's seen a lot of battle
Paul's capable of
scars.
folding. Paul is capable of folding. He might be the only one at this table who is capable of folding two pair here against Kobe. But he might know Kobe is capable of bluffing.
I'm not sure how much of Kobe's kind of decision making he's actually shown down tonight. So it's possible that Paul doesn't know what he's up against.
Especially considering his first day in the club. Paul might not know him at all. Like if they've had history from, months of playing with each other, it might be different. But he's counting out the 80.
I think he's gonna stick it in, yeah.
I lose that bet. I was going to say Paul folds. Good. I like Kobe's bet. I like it. He had the desire to win that pot.
You win, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Michael Scott.
How dare you call me that?
That's one of my favorite. Touring around with Chad Holloway from Poker News. I think you know him.
Oh, yeah.
Great guy. That's his favorite sitcom. I mean, he watched it and watched it and watched it and watched it.
Yeah, I went back and started rewatching some of that recently. Also, when they forced me to buy Peacock to watch that one NFL game, which I did, I spent my $5.
Right.
So John opens with a nice balanced range, honestly. This
I like
8-7 suited, love it.
I'm impressed with John today.
Min clicks him trying to isolate. Chrissy wakes up with the hand, a real hand, the hand. All of these are
The
real.
American Airlines.
Yep. And puts in a cold 4-bet. Now that's going to send up some flags. John gets out of there quick as can be. Vu is looking to crack someone.
Yep. And he's got suited connectors. You're gonna crack aces. You can do it the 5. All right, that totally misses him.
Scary board for aces, though.
Yeah.
Although she's got the ace of hearts. That's a good ace to have.
2 1/4 in the pot. She's going to bet 75. Vu has no part of this. So, Anthony, we were asking you to put this on your room, stream it on your TVs around the room. I think
get whoever is running the file sticks down there, probably Jason, to click one on YouTube, and then you guys should be able to spread it around. With a gun, ace-8 offsuit, you could get away from this potentially. But this is a live stream, so why not get a little raise in there? Now, Vu's got a hand here. 2 9s. Definitely want to put in a 3-bet, because if you're just flatting here with your 2 9s, you're inviting other players into the pot. And if you're inviting other players in the pot with 2 9s, that is not what you want to be doing.
Oh, man.
Into a set mine.
How many times are Paul and Vu going to go just clash?
Max punishment here for Vu.
Oh, and Kobe's got 2 10s.
Well, these might as well be aces.
This is going to be a huge pot.
This call
They've both got 1100.
is going to keep Vu in.
John's not calling.
What's John doing?
160.
John, no, you can't. I gave you that money. Take good care of it. Maybe he's going to posture. Maybe he's going to posture and then fold.
No, he's double fisting this stuff. I
Can
mean,
you
he's
believe that if
back.
he pegs an ace on this flop, he's good? Most of the time. Can you believe that that's actually still the case?
Yeah, he is.
Holy Jeebus.
I don't remember anybody folding an ace, so well,
As it turns out,
3 times 3.
while I don't mind opening this ace-8 offsuit, it is certainly not the hand that you want to take multi-way into a pot for a lot of money.
Who's gonna rip it?
Now, just you watch, the board's going to run out ace-ace, and I'm going to be...
Well, I think P-Dub re-rips it, right? He doesn't want to go four-handed with kings.
No. Maybe not.
He is just gonna call.
How much does he have in front of him? He's got over 1,000 in front of him.
Yeah, they both had 1,100.
Anybody else playing 1,000? Effectively, John is
Paul
playing.
and Kobe both had 1,100.
I could see Paul. Yeah, John is so frustrated right now, and I would be too if I were him. Honestly, how do you think?
How do you fold now? There's 1,200 in the pot. It costs 126 to fold or to
I
call.
don't think that John has anything other than aces here.
Yeah, no, you got 9 to 1 on your.
Like I'm questioning whether or not our card reader is correct. To be honest with you, but you would think that he would be barreling it in. Oh my God!
Who's a genius?
Vu flops quad nines. Kobe
Wow.
has seen enough. There's not a single card on that board bigger than a 10, and so he's all in.
Why don't I have any money? Why do I have? Why am I all in for $250?
And Vu can barely contain himself.
He's like, well, I'm going to win this hand, sir.
Paul is going to be satisfied with the side pot, I think.
Yeah, he's going to pick up the $1,600 side pot if a 10 doesn't come out.
Nice
And,
rebate for Paul, who can't believe how he got into this
He
situation.
loses 10s, kings, 9s. Wow, I wish my microphones worked right now. Those guys got to be going crazy.
You know what's funny is that the phone call that I got was about this exact hand.
Got
Because
it.
Scott wanted to know about the fact that what to do about the fact that Vu hit quad nines, and the answer is we give him a hat.
Give him a hat.
Quad nines got hit already. Hit him again. They'll be worth $200
All right.
tonight.
All right. So he
You got
picks
2.5 hours to hit quad nines again for $200.
So Vu wins $934
And a hat.
and a hat
Don't forget about the hat.
and a hat.
Uh-huh.
I love this game.
Yeah, don't you worry about those stacks, Matt. If he doesn't like stacking chips, he's in the wrong place.
Oh wow! All right. It's going to take a while for all those chips to get put into place. I'm going to go grab a bottle of water.
Yeah, you
I don't have
grab
the
a bottle of
luxury.
water. I'm going to grab a bottle of wine.
All right, I'll be right back.
We're going to be here for a while. Everybody's still stacking chips as expected. This will probably go on for some time. All right. Next hand number 55. Everybody pumped up in this game, thanks to my contributions, among others, I'm sure.
Yeah, we mentioned that there was only like the math didn't seem to work out, and then I realized, oh, there's an extra $500 in there that's not represented.
Yep. and I'm not the only one that entered and exited this game. I think so. That's how it goes on stream. Everybody be up sometimes. The people who
Yeah.
aren't went home.
It's a
So-
zero-sum game. You know, somebody wins 100, that means somebody lost 100. But when a couple of people lose or a couple of people leave after losing, then it looks skewed. It's gonna take Vu a minute to cash or to.
Skewed. He takes that minute to put on his hat.
What you got there?
Oh, you can see me. That's right. I am.
That looks fun.
Yeah, I'm pouring myself a little evening cocktail here.
Love it.
I mean, about a finger of some of this.
Mac's got a boat. Vu's got a bigger boat. There's not a situation where Mac is folding. Oh, he's making just $25. John's thinking about bluffing at this one, and it will not work. No, he folds. And I got a boat.
Boat need boat.
Vu, 86%. That is not a surprise to anybody who knows Vu.
We love him.
I'm gonna jump on my Facebook. He's a Minnesota guy. I've known him for years. I'm gonna jump on my Facebook and just say, "Hey guys, come watch Vu." I'm gonna tag him. Come watch Vu and his 86% VPIP.
And his quad nines.
And his quad nines.
Turns out if you fold hands in spots like that, you can't ever hit quad nines.
I wonder how that plays out if he has more than $300 in front of him. You know, if he has 1,100 like Paul does.
I think he finds a fold pre-flop, maybe, honestly.
Quite possible.
Although it's tough to say with John's money in the pot. Like John flatting twice out of position with a hand the strength that he had could entice some people to go after some money that they might perceive as dead money.
Right.
Now, little do they know, if the board is nothing but an ace, he's ahead of them all. But generally, there are going to be some better aces in spots like that, unless they all have pairs the way they did.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Hayden's got a gutter ball.
Anthony jumps on
Two
from
pair for ball.
gets counterfeited if anybody had a 10.
Yes, that's right. Smash that like and subscribe, Anthony. This is the time for the horn, Eric. This is where you hit the
Oh, boom, boom.
Smash it. That's right. Like and subscribe. That's what the horn's for.
Share. Share and tag your favorite poker player. I just did that.
Pre-flop raise. Not much from Hero. No pre-flop raises at a Hero.
No, he
of
has
48 hands.
Yeah. No, we mentioned that. He's doing a lot of limping.
All right.
And this is where I wish I could immediately grab the VPIP so I could compare it.
Yeah. Bunch of limpable hands here, that's for sure. Ooh, Chrissy. Yeah, it's a nice 3-bet out of Chrissy. Great 3-bet. That's how you want to play this hand out of the small blind. It's a nice multi-way hand, but that doesn't mean that you want 6 people in your pot for any reason. Now, if Vu's got position in a suited queen, I don't expect him to fold. Not on a night where he's made quad nines and won a hat.
And the hat. They are some solid hats, so I mean we're
They're
teasing,
excellent
but
hats.
they're so good.
They are excellent hats. Chrissy's got everything she wants here. Vu does not.
No.
Easy C bet from her. And then a fold from Vu. Now, in a 3-bet pot, that's fine. That's fine. You could do some check calling and do some delayed C betting on the turn, depending on what comes, as long as it's not like the 7, 9, 10 of clubs. You can do, well, if it's the 10 of clubs, you got top 2, so you would C bet that as well. But if it's like the 7 of clubs, the 9 of clubs, these are cards that might turn you off from your delayed C bet, and you would check again. So it's possible you can do some check calling on the flop with your ace 10 in a 3-bet pot. Versus the button, though, I think leading out is pretty good.
I like it, especially against Vu.
Yeah, because I think if Vu's got like any 8 there, he's going to give you at least 1 street worth of action. And if he turns 2 pair, good luck. That's probably why if he does call your C bet on the flop there, I would almost always shut down on the turn unless you turn like another ace. Or like maybe if you make it 10. Yeah, if you make it 10, you can bet that as well twice.
You know what's funny? I just noticed
What's that?
in the background on that big 100,000-inch screen that we have in the back there.
The 14-footer?
Yeah, the big one. We are streaming some past live streams,
Yes.
and I just saw Chrissy's name on there. So she's sitting in the one seat, and
Watching yourself.
right, and maybe she's not watching herself, but everybody else can see her playing.
Could you imagine if she like does something here that's similar to a thing that she's currently doing on there?
We've got
They're watching an old broadcast, by the way, of course. They're
talents.
not watching themselves right now.
No, this is a past broadcast,
No, Chrissy's just a regular.
and it could have been. You know what? I think it is. It might have been. No, it was a cash game. Never mind. It says $43 in the pot. I was going to say it might have been the. It might have been the final table of the 50K guarantee we just had last week.
So John limps this 8-10 of hearts from the 8 seat here, and oh, there we go. Maybe he bought Vu's hat. This is Vu's hat now.
That's a beautiful hat.
It's a beautiful hat. Look at that hat.
Yeah, Vu is probably complained. I don't wear hats. He's like, I'll take it from you.
That's true.
$30.
He wears some hats. He's got a Minnesota Vikings hat that I saw all the time. But anyway, the point I'm making with this 10-8 suited from John here is he limped that pre-flop, and earlier he had the 8-7 of spades, and he raised that up from an early position, and it got kind of stuck back down his neck. But honestly, I like putting raises in with these types of suited connector hands.
Love them.
If you limp, you're going to encourage a multi-way pot, and you also kind of cap your range because you're never going to be limping aces or kings or anything like that. So you take those hands away from yourself entirely, and ultimately, you want to have all your hands all the time, or at least as many as you can. So I like an open there, and even if you do get called a bunch, it doesn't have to be a big open. Open to $10 or something like that, or $8 if you don't want to. But even in those spots, even in those spots, if you get called multiple times, it's not so bad because those suited connectors play well multi-way, which I believe is the logic behind limping in the first place. Sorry, what were you saying there?
Board coverage. Like you limp in with the 4-5 and it comes out high, you can represent that that's what you had. And if it comes out low, you actually did have that. So, no matter what the flop comes out, you can continue.
And just
Thank
putting
you.
in a little bit of just a little raise, just that first raise, even if it eliminates one extra person from the number of people that you're playing against post flop, that can be very valuable.
Keep them guessing.
Yeah. That king four suited is probably a fold from Hero.
I was gonna say shout out to Matt in the box and Minnesota Mike in the on the action tracker. They've been locked in since the final table, and they've been here for another 3 hours. So, good job, guys.
Yeah.
I like that we're training more and more of the staff to use this.
Oh, didn't somebody have king 10? No, it was queen 10 and jack 10.
P-dub, looking for that flush, the nut flush.
Yeah, the flop checked through after $15 around pre-flop. Paul with the nut flush draw turns it into a bit of a semi-bluff on the turn. Gets called a couple times. The river bricks out for him. He checks through real quick. Yeah, I think his plan was to either drill a flush or just give up, which is fine. He could, in particular with his table image, be in a spot where, let's say, Hayden wasn't in there, who I think has got a kind of a tight image.
Right.
If he did decide to continue bluffing with his diamond draw there, I think he could have got some folds maybe.
So here's the math. Hayden, it shows he's up $355. He's actually down $45 because he bought him for $5 and then he topped off for $4 more. So he's actually down $45. So I don't know what happened that it didn't get.
Is that why we're seeing so many positive?
Yeah.
Stacks then maybe. Okay.
And Matt Veal pointed that out for me. But I forgot to verify the next time it came around. We got people hovering around the background going, hey, what do we got going on over here?
Excellent. That's what we want this to turn into. Honestly, there's some nights of the week where I would like to just do this.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, if we can get the staff trained up, there's no reason we can't stream 4 or 5 nights a week. Except for we're sharing a YouTube channel with Austin, and they want to stream a couple times a week, so we might have to argue.
Night of the week, honestly. If we did a stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday in the evening time, I would not be mad at that. I know that the other 3 days that I didn't mention are occupied by our free rolls right now. We've got $1,500 free rolls starting at 6:30 on Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. But that seems to be the tournament type and format that generates the most bodies. Mm-hmm. There are other events that happen that are, well attended at first, and then the interest seems to be for a lot of cash game play, and then the tournament play in the morning time. Morning free roll. This is really where a lot of folks have been speaking with their dollar.
We have a new player in the 7th seat.
Yes, we do. Oh, that's Scott. Right. Scott, I believe that's his name.
I don't know Scott.
Yeah, he's actually somebody who does come in and play some of those cash games during the daytime. No, not Scott. Excuse me, Smitty. His name is Smitty.
Smitty.
And yeah, he'll come in and mix it up every once in a while in the afternoon, in the early evening. Good player, solid player.
Well, I texted Minnesota Mike and I said, hey, if these guys are interested, we can extend the time as long as you want. And he gave me a thumbs up. I don't know if that means yes or if he would check. But I'm here as long as you guys want me here. V. Pippin. So who were we talking about? We were talking about Hero. 32% VPIP, 0% pre-flop raising. We need those numbers closer together. And it is Smitty in the 7 seat. Hayden with 26% VPIP, and I think he had like an 18% pre-flop raising. There's a word for that. And I don't remember what the word is, where they're close together.
Another
Ooh,
spot.
him.
Yeah, wow.
And then Chrissy just opens to 20.
Yeah, this is another spot with these suited connectors where I think you can get a lot accomplished by opening instead of just limping them in. Let's say you choose an open size that's like $10 here. I don't think Chrissy is going to 3-bet you with 2 5s. I think she might come along. And because you've limped in and created a slightly bloated pot for her to make her open on top of, she now dictates a size that's twice as large as the size that you might have chosen. And so if you're able to just play a pot for $10 with your suited connectors, I think you would rather do that than play a pot for $20.
Thane's got bottom pair and a flush draw.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. Who's got middle pair? But I think the presence of Thane might elicit a fold from him. Nope.
No. No.
Chrissy too.
Thane
Flush comes in. Thane's got it all.
Over.
How much more money can he get out of these folks? That's the question. He's going to try for $100.
Half a pot. I was surprised at how big it was, but it's half the pot. Yeah, it's
a reasonable sizing if you don't know exactly what the two players are holding. In this case, we know that they're in there mixing it up, trying to set.
And you want to get somebody who has one heart out of hand.
Yeah, that's correct.
And he's happy to take down $200 and get his name on the board. Did he show the hearts? He had to have, right?
I don't know. That's the thing about these promos. You got to remember that you're playing them.
Yeah. He gets the flush. He forgets to tell. To tell Scott. Doesn't get his name on the board.
Now this is only the 4th actual live day that we've been running the promotion, so it'll make its way into the minds of the community soon enough.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we gotta get some green screens, I guess.
What's that?
We gotta get some green screens.
Yes, sir. We got kings and nines. Max not folding. He's got 3-4 suited.
Hero limped his ace-9 suited on the button. Surprising. Maybe he's a little worn down by that big pot that he was in earlier with the 10s.
Yeah. $1.25 in the pot.
Yeah. Smitty makes a big size out of the small blind. Very good. He's going to c-bet this probably for a significant size into a field of 5. 75 is the bet. 60.
No, that would have been my guess, but it's bigger than that. Those are those green chips?
It looks like he made it $60.
Oh, it is 60. Okay.
So about a half pot size bet.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't really love that. I think I might have chosen either a really small size or something around like 60 or 70%. Something just a little bit bigger. Sometimes there's a phrase in the online poker community that goes half pot had it, and many times now this comes from the betting options available to you from a single click, being something like 25, 50%, 75%, like right on the nose. So if somebody bets exactly half the pot, for whatever reason, that has become a like sort of a sign of strength. In some ways, I think that might translate a little bit to live poker. And so when somebody bets exactly half pot, I find more often than not they usually have it. Half pot had it. Well, somebody made quad nines. Now no one's opening anymore. Oh, here comes John. Oh, thank gosh. There's John.
He's got
He's
the
got
king
a very solid open with the king queen from the small blind.
and all the queens are out. He's got everybody dominated.
Yeah, nobody's opening, but nobody's folding either.
No, welcome to Texas.
This is Texas poker. Community game, social game.
Yeah.
Sure,
fun.
how much? Sure, I call.
No fun to fold.
Look at Paul flopping trips with his queen 5 offsuit. Checks him through, plays it coy. John's got 4 people in this pot. Is he going to take a stab at it? Out of position? No, he's just going to put his hand in the muck. It's like a Chinese finger trap. You're stuck there. You have no idea what to do. The only thing you can think of is put your hand right in the muck. Check. A bet from Paul, of course, who's finally found, not finally, but found the opportunity to spring his trap. And did a great job checking on the flop because it allowed someone to catch up with the 9. I think it's Thane. He's got the king 9. And let's see if how much money Paul can extract here. Well, we've got the burn, unburn. Not sure what's going on at the table. Some kind of discussion.
Yeah. Did the 9 show up on the overlay? Or did we not see the overlay yet?
Can't. If we did, it was brief, and I'm not quite sure.
What might have happened, and this is a guess, that burn card is too far away from the sensor, so the computer thinks that 9 is the burn card, and it's waiting for him to put out the actual turn. And this is just us practicing, and we'll learn and get better.
Oh, we've got face-up hands gesturing. That's never good.
He's like, "What's going on? I gotta play. We only got 10 minutes left of this game. Let's go." I wish my microphones worked.
Nobody called you in, huh? All right, good. There we go. We're moving on with life. Whatever the situation was, there's.
They just said, "Just play it out." And
I mean, there's $80 in this pot. Let's
Yeah.
play both.
Next. We're just, and that's probably where Mike just throws his hands up and says, "I don't know what happened." Here we go. There it is.
Hey, it's back. Look, the 9 on the turn. There it is. Right there.
River action. There we go. Whatever it was, he fixed it.
Oh man, Hero is still in the pot with Queen 10, or maybe not. No, it was Thane. Thane had that King 9, didn't he?
I do not recall.
I think that's what happened. I think it went check, bet. Thane got away from his 9 because the ace came on the river. Bad card for Paul. And that's the end of that one. On to bigger and better things.
I did just invite some of my commentators who used to commentate. I sent out an invite if they wanted to. They haven't replied yet, so somebody might jump in here.
Sure.
It'll be fun. It's Tiny and Chris Larkin. They've been here.
Yeah.
but it's just a 2-hour drive for them, so they can't make it all the time. But now that there's remote commentary, actually, Lego is in the middle of a tournament, so he can't do it.
Man, it would be very cool to run this like a radio call-in show
Yeah. Ooh, you know what we could do?
with the
If
backdrop
anybody in
of
the chat wants to commentate with us,
We need a producer. We need someone to call screen.
Yeah.
Before we,
I gotta know you. You know, like I'm not gonna just let
if we know you personally, feel free to come talk to us. If we don't know yous, we got to get our producer. Now, I will admit to having completely lost the action here. Looks like we've got some heart draws left. Max got a 3. Thane's got the Queen of Hearts. Vu is also still in the hand.
with a gut ball.
Yes. Only 3 of which are good.
A 9 and 2 overs. So it went Vu bet 25, Mac called, check, Mac bet 50.
Wow.
9-10 Jack. Nope, a boat.
I thought for sure, briefly, that was a black 9 of some kind.
Now Mac's not afraid of the flush anymore.
Certainly not.
$300. He's like, never mind. 8 beats me. If you
Could
call
be an
it,
8. Yeah.
you know, I mean,
Could have just called you an
never-
8. 8 in a heart that randomly made top boat on the river.
Yeah. he looked he looked like hell.
Yeah. Now I'm actually going to go back and see that who had the Jack 10 of not hearts. And
Right.
maybe next time go for a little bit of value. But reasonable check back there.
I don't hate it. That's one of my weaknesses is not extracting value on the river when I have a thin value bet.
That's where you gotta chastise yourself a little bit and say, listen, I put this money into the pot to make my hand. Now I've made my hand, and what am I gonna do? Not bet? You gotta bet. Can't let them do your betting for you.
Hayden folds King 10. Good fold, but you don't see that often down here.
I was looking down. Was it off suited?
Well, yeah, he had 2 flush draws.
It's not bad. Not bad fold, especially under the gun.
He was +1 with a limp, but we would have got crushed by Ace 10.
Oh, but he must have been. Was there a straddle on?
No, Thane limped in
Oh,
from under the gun, and he just snap folds King 10, which worked out perfectly for him because he might have gotten in trouble. Paul wins a $83 pot.
flops it all. No one else has anything.
Denies equity to anybody that might have a flush draw.
Yeah, you still definitely are betting strong at these boards that have flush draws, straight draws.
Especially because you're getting called by anybody with an ace.
Exactly.
You might get raised by an ace jack.
Exactly. Great spot to bet. Unlucky his opponents didn't have anything.
Mm-hmm. P-Dub, 1,800. Remember, guys, this is not match a stack. This is a $500 max buy-in. He's up $1,400 in less than 3 hours.
Man, that's a good day there, Tater.
That's a good day. He, he's one of our premium dealers. He might call in sick tomorrow and just become a professional poker player.
Yeah, you don't give him any ideas. Well-earned day off.
Actually, speaking of, he came in here to work And he asked you if he could take the day off to play. Is that
I
correct?
much prefer that approach than the call out approach.
Yeah, no, he showed up to work, saw we were streaming, and went, "Hey, do you need me tonight?" And we happened to have enough dealers, so you said, "No, you can not clock in," and it worked out well for him.
Oh my God, this is John's
However,
nightmare. Look at this nightmare.
this is so
John makes
bad.
$25 pre-flop with no straddle on and 2 aces. Folds around to Paul, who calls out of the
Plus
big
one, plus one. Early position for 8-5. I don't see him doing that ever. He calls it 2. He limps in with 8-5. Good read on the deck, Paul.
Bet call from John. No way John doesn't think he's still good here.
Oh, he's great. Aces.
Ugh,
These are
this
too
kind of
big.
confirms for me what I was thinking about that King's full hand.
Oh man. Now do you bomb?
But look at this action. I didn't really see how this worked.
It goes check, bet, call, check, bet, call, check, bet.
No,
call.
it was bet raise. Flop was Paul bets flop.
Yes,
John
yes,
raises.
yes.
Paul calls. Check, bet, call. Check. John rips it.
He's wondering how he's beat.
Let me tell you something. If Paul wasn't laying down Queen 10 on the 4 straight board, I don't think he's going to be laying down 8-5 here. He's counting 1 pair, 2 pair. No, just 1 pair.
The King 10 beats me, and that's it. That's the only thing that makes sense. Pocket 10s.
Gosh.
Did I run into a set? That's the only thing he's thinking right now.
Maybe he's thinking back to the set of King's hand that turned into King's fall against yours truly from John. And thinking that John could have 2 kings here.
He doesn't fold, right?
I mean, he put Batman back on the cards. I think his chips are going in. If he wasn't pumped up the way he is, maybe he would fold here, but man's up.
Yeah, he's up
1,000 plus. I bet you his chips go in the middle.
1,500. Just a crying call with bottom 2 on the flop.
How much would I have left? Still $1,500? Okay, I call.
Great hand.
I repeat, Batman has not left the cards.
I have so many Imagine X toys that Paul has right there. That Batman is a little Imagine X toy.
Now, if he reaches for Batman, it's all over. Going through the permutations. Where's that heartbeat? Let me get a heartbeat.
Oh, wrong one.
There you go. Run it back. Yes, that's right. We need these sound effects for our radio call-in show.
How long, if you got a pair of aces, how scared are you right now?
I don't know what you're feeling. And it depends on whether or not Paul has already said out loud what is.
Yeah, like you got 2 pair, you got a set. What's going on? I mean, there's some joking around, but
oh, he touched Batman. Batman is off the cards. I repeat, Batman is off the cards. Batman is off the cards and face down on the table. This could be bad news for Batman.
So, what do you think about how long is reasonable for him to think about this? Here's Scott in the background. Somebody call clock.
Yeah.
He's like, "What are you kidding me? Clock? Let me think about this. It's a big damn hand. It's a $400 call. Give me a minute." I think he's had enough time.
I also think he's had enough time.
So without the microphones, I don't know what happened, but
We're still doing finger math
yeah,
on the board.
Scott's probably got the 30-second countdown clock going.
It's a tough call. It's a tough call if he's going to make it.
It's a tough call. And now he's annoyed that somebody called clock on him. I'd be interested to find out who did it. If it was John or if it was somebody else at the table who's just like, dude, we're streaming. All right.
If he wasn't on the clock yet, he may be on now.
The way he's scowling at the 2-seat, it makes me believe Mac got fed up with him and said, "All right, clock, let's go. Next hand. You already know what you're gonna do."
Batman's still off the cards.
What do you pick? Over or under? He folds.
I think he's folding.
All right, I'll take he calls.
His hands are back on the cards, and they're not on the chips anymore.
Beer bet. Oh,
Yeah.
I lose. And he shows his aces, and he's so annoyed with Mac. He, yep, you can see Scott in the background. He probably gave him this 30-second countdown, and he probably took the entire 30 seconds and then just folded.
Yeah.
And wow. So
Tough spot.
Yeah.
Tough spot.
Assuming it was Mac, was he out of line to call clock?
That's about what I'm going to get into here. Is I don't believe would I have called clock? No, I wouldn't have called clock. It's my, I'm responsible for the property. I'm responsible for the games. I'm never going to be the one that calls clock.
So as the GM, you would not. How about if you were a player at a different club?
I also kind of feel that way when I'm playing just in general. I don't really like to put myself in those situations unless something egregious is happening. There was a point recently where a player was like very clearly trying to stall to get to a break in a tournament,
right,
so that he could rebuy, and I was a significant chip leader in this tournament. And so after the second or third blatant act of clock wasting, I said, hey man, we got to do something to speed up play a little bit here. And he looked me dead in the eyes and said, well, why don't you effing call clock then? In that spot, I immediately call clock because that's just how that goes, I think.
Right.
But generally, I'm not going to be the one to do that. Now, somebody calling clock, if I'm a player at the table observing in that spot in particular, I don't think it's egregious. I do think that there was probably a lot of Paul talking about what his hand was or what his opponent could have. And frankly, if it seems like some of that is becoming cyclical, or sometimes just human beings and our brains sometimes lock ourselves into patterns where we get analysis paralysis, or there's just not necessarily a decision forthcoming. In those spots, I think it is very reasonable for someone to protect, their interests, in particular in a tournament scenario, by calling clock or just wanting to get on to the next hand, because frankly, session times are limited. And if you're stuck or something, you just want to get on to the next hand, it's a reasonable thing to call clock. I think it's perhaps seen as too much of much more of an insult than it needs to be in some of these spots. But of course, there are people that abuse this and will call the clock too rapidly, and that can be certainly offensive. And I would just, encourage everyone to, everybody's got a right to the clock, and just let the floor man do the work and let the floor man be the bad guy. If you're going to call clock, just respectfully say, hey, I'm going to call the clock. And if somebody calls the clock on you, in particular after you've been, hemming and hawing over a tough decision and sort of speaking your mind out loud, and maybe it seems like you're past the point of analyzing and more just sort of bemoaning the situation, then maybe, if we can, try to have some understanding there that players are within the right to call the clock in those situations.
Absolutely. And here's a spot where Vu makes it 12, like you were talking about.
Yeah. I would be picking the 9-6 to do it with instead of the 9-4, because you're connected and you can make some straights. The suited 9-6 versus the suited 9-4. But yeah, this is what you want to be doing when you're choosing to play these suited connectors pre-flop. You definitely want to be raising.
Here's that board coverage we were talking about. That was a great flop for him to continue. he raises pre-flop. It comes out with letters. It's a really easy spot to continue. Except for
Yeah.
he's suspicious that Mac has
Yeah, honestly,
letters.
Mac has the majority of this board. I think
Yeah.
he flats in position.
Yeah.
This time he happens to have the 6-4 offsuit. Maybe he was a little bit frustrated with the length of time that the previous hand took, and so started mixing it up a little wild. But I think Mac is the one who is in best position to take this pot down with a
Agreed.
bluff.
Agreed. Yeah, whoever was most aggressive would have won that pot.
Yeah.
Hand 70. We could play a game. See who's willing to chat.
I like games. I've always been a gamesman.
All right, what do we want to play? We did the last game I played was Guess the Pot. What do you want to play now?
Let's say red. Oh no, not red or black. That's
It's too many
binary.
people.
Yeah. Whatever bet closes the action in hand number. What hand is this? 70.
This is hand 7-0.
All right. So let's call it hand number 75. Let's see if we can do something quick. Whatever bet closes all of the action of the hand. So the final bet made. Period. What is the size of that bet going to be?
There you go.
And we'll do it for, you gave away 5 hours last time.
We don't have to be that aggressive.
I want to rattle these off maybe a little faster as we get later on. So let's do 1 in 5 hands. We'll call it an hour of free time.
Right on.
And let's see if we can guess how much the final bet is going to be of hand number 75.
All right. Note to self: charge those microphones because this is so much better when you can hear the table talk.
For sure. You don't have to listen to me talk the whole time.
It could be worse. I mean, you could have had something going on tonight, and they'd have to listen to me all by myself, and that's just painful. John, club flush. I hope he showed it. I hope he got on the board. Speaking of getting on the board, I'm going to go snap a picture of the board and see how many people we have and how close we are to giving away that flush frenzy.
We got 2 hours left in it.
Yeah, I'm going to leave you alone for just a minute when I go snap that picture. Be right back.
Final bet will be 75. All right. We've got one person who understands the terms of the game. If not, I'll explain it again. Hand number 75. Whatever bet closes all the action on hand number 75, the final bet placed, how much will that bet size be without going over? And to be clear, it's a bet, so not a call. Well, I mean, that would be the same size anyway. So, pardon me while I think through the scenarios of this game that I just invented. We got some hands here. Mac opens from the low jack. It's $23 with the queen 8 suited. Paul calls king queen on the button. Flop comes a king. John's got an up and down straight draw. Paul's got top pair. Mac also has top pair, but bad kicker. I think that 23 was on the flop that was bet. Might have been limped pre-flop or something like that. But either way, that straight does not get there. King queen remains the best hand. Oh, except for the chop that just came on the river. So if both Paul and Mac get to showdown here, they're going to chop it up with their queen. John is left wishing that a king had come, giving Paul his 2 pair, and John wanted his up and down straights. All right, so that was hand number 71. So we got 4 more hands to go before we figure out.
All right.
Now, right now, I have only one guess recorded from Matt V.
Matt V is just going to win.
Technically, he's just going to win an hour of free time unless somebody else puts in a bet, which I'm happy to give to Matt. We've seen Matt a lot.
Matt's great.
I'm sure he'll
All right.
appreciate an hour of free time. If no one else can fire a number into chat,
So
take
check
their
out
shot.
the numbers for today's flushes. Needing to use both hole cards, John, no H, has a club flush. Vo has a diamond flush. Caesar has a spade and a club. Josh has a heart and a diamond. Hero has a heart. Paul has a diamond and a heart. David has a spade. Kobe has a club, and Thane has a heart. That's all we have for flush draws. And Randy says 150.
All right, so we got it. We got the game on. We got a sweat. We got Matt and Randy duking it out. And anyone else wants to fire a number into chat for how much they think the last bet will be on hand number 75 for an hour of free time. So you saw the board, and we've got one person with 2. That's what I hear.
I wonder if I type a message here.
One person with 2 suits in the flush frenzy.
2 people, Caesar and Josh.
Nice. Well, people will get a little bit more adept at how to peg some of these flushes, I think.
All right. So I just
Email there.
emailed my I just posted my email in the chat. If you guys want to get on the live stream, send me an email.
There you go.
Somebody in the room asked if he could play next Friday, and I said I think that table is full. That's the Mike Sewell game, and I think it's full, but I would definitely put him on the alternate list. And if you ever, like, let's say this becomes a regular thing where we're streaming every Friday, just come into the room, somebody busts out and doesn't rebuy, open seat. I think it'll be a great way to build this.
Yeah, I would love to do this like Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe do something a little different on either the Tuesday or the Wednesday as far as game type. Do PLO or Congress or Round of Each or something
This
like that.
software does not allow Congress. It doesn't allow 5-card, but we could do Hold'em, or excuse me, we could do PLO.
Does it allow Pineapple?
No.
Okay.
Not-
Well, you can do bomb pots, right?
Yeah, we can do bomb pots. We can do bomb. They actually asked if we could do bomb pots, and because Matt is new enough, I don't want him to mess it up. And some of the players didn't want to anyway, so we just said no bomb pots.
Okay.
Let's just keep it fresh.
Look at this. We got some pre-flop action here. Reese is in there with the ace-queen off, making it 15. Smitty 3-bets in with the 10-9 suited. Gets called by John with the ace-9 suited. Max got 2 7s. He's in there. Paul's got a small suited connector. He's in there. Let's see if Reese finds a 4-bet. He does not.
No.
We are off to a flop.
Reese is new, right?
Yes.
All right, so I just went out there and asked if they wanted to extend the time because we were technically supposed to stop at 10, and they said, no, we got a lot of new players. Can we keep going? And I'm like, yeah, let's keep going. Let's go another half hour, and we'll see what that turns into. I mean, I'm willing to extend them another half hour after that.
Yeah, honestly,
I got nothing to do.
Commentary for and still be up for unlocking the doors at 9 a.m., but these guys can play as long as they want to.
P-Dub's got the heart flush. And
Baby heart flush. Nobody has one of those kings. Mac is the only one
7 or a
that
king.
could steal it from him.
Smitty, 10 or a king gives him a boat.
That's true. Oh, here comes that train again. Did Smitty raise this on the button? Oh my
Yeah,
god!
130 to go. Now P-Dub's got to call. Now the thing is, if he sees Paul folding 2 pair, okay,
Yeah,
you know,
that's true. That is very true. Maybe he thinks that
he can push him around.
he puts some
That
pressure on him.
he's not
Although
gonna call.
I don't think Paul is. I think he's going to check. Paul's not going to bet.
No, he'll
But
check.
I don't think Paul's going to fold. Smitty's going to have to rip it for 385, and even then,
Check,
no,
check.
he goes check, check. Smitty knows when to give up.
Yep.
Paul shows him the flush, takes down a $542 pot.
Yeah,
Went
nice.
$55 5 ways pre-flop.
And he signals Scott heart flush.
Hard
Put me on the
flush.
board.
Get it up there.
There she is, making a cute little heart.
I might have to get a bigger board.
Gonna need a bigger boat.
Heck yes, you do, Banks John. Perhaps John Banks. Come on down on a Burleson Friday night. Hop on our live stream.
So, like I said, this Friday, Mike Sewell's invite. It's a 1-3 with a $1,000 buy-in, so it's a little bit bigger than this game. And I think he has a full table. But 80% of the people are going to come. 20% are not going to come. So that's just the numbers. So if you are in the room and you get on the list and somebody doesn't show up or somebody busts out, we can get you going. If you want to play that game, that's going to be fun. Mike Sewell is a fun guy.
Have we got Brett? Have we got Brett in that game also? Brett Bots?
Let me read this off to you because I asked how he was doing. He says John Cook, Coy, JP, Christian, Alex, Brad, Chrissy, and Gator. So that's the lineup he has right now.
Okay.
Some of those names I don't know. Some of those names I do know. Chrissy's right there in the 1 seat, so she's going to play again. Brad's one of my guys from Dallas who came down here, and he loves it. He used to play on my streams in Dallas. Alex, I don't know which Alex that is. JP, Coy, John Cook, and Gator. That's a really small game for Gator to come play, but he just loves it.
I think Mike and Gator are fast friends also.
They are. They went to the game. And I say the game, I don't know what game. I think it was
There's one with game.
Yeah. They went to a game. The Facebook friends and posted selfies at the game. We went and had a cigar last time they were here in the commentary booth. Afterwards. I enjoy an occasional cigar. See, you could have a cigar right now. I could not.
That's true.
I need to do the remote commentary.
Come in here, dear boy. Have a cigar. You're going to go far. Listen, it's late. I may be into the tequila a little bit.
That's okay. You have a short stumble home.
That's right.
So hand 75, the final bet of this hand.
So $12 right now is what opens the action. Oh man, this 3-bet. If it's to 75, it's to 40. Still, this is looking good for. We got another ace king. This is looking good for the 150. Randy.
Yeah. Big pot.
Just a call from Smitty with the ace king.
Bobby, you can't do
Bobby, the hand has begun.
that. You gotta.
Info.
When the button gets their final card, all entries are.
Thane leading out for $100. Now, if this takes it down, then Matt's the winner.
That wins.
Seems like it very well could. Oh.
My internet froze up, Bobby says.
It still could be 100 if it goes check, check. But if Thane rips it in, $266. That's it. That's the number.
Randy wins. Okay, Bobby, we'll let your 85 count.
Yes, it's very
Randy
true.
wins anyway.
Honestly, no problem with that. Once the 100 came in, it wasn't. It was without going over was the qualification. So Thane rips it in here for $266. $266 is going to be the final bet of this hand. Some of these options are only to call, which means that Randy Johnson, former pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks, is the big unit is going to receive an hour of free time. Eric, those are sports ball references. Any of that?
No,
No?
I just like smile and nod, boys.
Did you ever see a clip of a pitcher who threw a baseball and it hit a bird and the bird exploded in midair?
Yep.
Yeah, that made its way into the mainstream. That was the big unit, Randy Johnson.
All right.
Hell of a mustache on that man, and hell of an arm also.
Randy Johnson.
And well done to Randy, who earns an hour of free time.
1 hour.
Wow, hit you your hour. If you're not a member already, come on down, become a member, and if you are a member, we will find you.
I just texted Scott, so he'll credit him an hour.
We will add an hour of free time.
Where are you from, Bobby? Bobby says he enjoys the stream even though his internet froze up. Here's a question: who's the furthest away from the Fort Worth area?
Ooh, that's a fun go, man. Vu's got aces. When Vu gets aces, everybody
It's not
suffers.
fair when Vu gets aces. He's not supposed to get aces.
If anybody has anything else at all.
Smitty makes it 20. Vu makes it 65. North Richland Hills for Bobby Pierce. Smitty
knows his customer, so he's coming along with it.
Absolutely does. They must have some history.
Well, he's part way there to cracking these aces. Check call incoming.
Yep, 7-5. 135 in the pot. He's going to make it.
Snap
fold.
Lay down.
Snap fold. Randy, are you?
He's probably not a member yet. Then come on down.
Randy,
we'll make him.
Not a member yet.
In addition to that hour of free time, Randy, we'll give you a free membership for your first day. Also,
yeah. Stop in, ask for Harry or Eric. Good chance one of us is going to be here, and we'll get you on there.
Yep, we'll waive that $10 membership fee for the first day there, and we'll get you a free hour, get you up and running.
Beautiful. Three hours later, Matt's still reminding them how to use those RFID sensors. John with the A and the Q.
Nice raise from John.
Everybody's got letters. Everybody's got letters today. It's like a pinochle deck.
Max got a nice call in hand with the King 10 of Diamonds. You could even get a little frisky sometimes with the King 10 of Diamonds, in particular when you're out of position, I think. But from the button here, I like making it into your calling range.
P-Dub with the only numbers, and he hits it. More numbers come out. He bets. $20 into a $100 pot.
P-Dub, big numbers guy.
Does the trick. I like playing numbers rather than letters because there's 9 numbers and only 4 letters. And so, statistically, you're going to win with numbers.
I mean, broken down like a true veteran there, eh? Speaking of, when do we get Renee back? Do we get Renee back? She's coming home?
I was following her Facebook exploits, and she is. I don't think actually. She might be home. I saw her with Jasmine doing selfies.
Oh, that's right.
So I don't. You know what? She might be.
Well, maybe she'll find her way back to us one day.
I think she might be doing the traveling dealer gig down in Houston this week.
Nice.
I don't know that for sure, but I think so. That'll be a fun event. If you're in the Houston area, check out Champions.
Know a lot of great people down at Champions.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
The Lopi, Adrian and Miranda.
Mm-hmm.
Brian also down there.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Chrissy flops middle set. Smitty's got ace jack. Hayden's got ace deuce. This is going to be spicy.
Discipline just call from Smitty here. Let's see what Chrissy raises to. There's a flush draw out there. She's got to get some more money in this pot, I think.
1 1/4.
150. $1.25. Hayden knows he's beat pretty quick.
King, queen. Reese goes.
Reese was just bluffing. He's got.
Yeah, he goes. I don't want to look silly now.
Now I think Smitty could potentially continue because he's got this backdoor spade draw.
And he's got
but if he folded his ace jack, I wouldn't be surprised either. He is a very disciplined player. Reese, what are we doing here, brah? Yeah.
He has some posture. You can't
Some
just
posturing. Absolutely some posturing. Needs to be done.
You know, he bets 35 and somebody's, spikes it back in his face. He can't just give up.
Yep. Reese checks to make sure he's got Smitty checks to make sure he's got that ace of spades. And just a brutal turn card for him. He thinks it's gin, but we know it's not.
Oh, no.
He is going to check rip this.
Oh, he's only got $40 if that's accurate.
Oh.
I mean, this is
that's
just
not accurate.
That can't be accurate.
That's absolutely not accurate.
Now, he was not there for the pre-game speech when I said, if you add on, make sure you tell Matt so Matt can tell Mike so the graphics can get updated. He probably threw another 500 in there. And
yes, I added a quarter on at one point and needed to tell. I told Matt about it.
Yeah, he's got at least 200 behind.
Yeah. Chrissy bets. Smitty rips it on her immediately. Chrissy snaps it off, of course.
It looks like check all in and Smitty calls. According to the
she rips.
overlay. She just ripped $600 in. And that I don't love that bet because you only got called by the ace jack. If Smitty doesn't hit that jack,
I think you give. Now maybe that's the way she wants to play it with her friends. You know, sometimes that's something to consider. But it definitely does when you rip it there. It gives ace queen, ace 10, even like worse two pairs like ace 3, ace 6, an opportunity to get away from the hand. So I think maybe choosing a slightly smaller sizing might be best.
I mean, he happened to have the perfect hand to just give her all of his money.
Yeah. Anything other than a jack there? Except, I don't know. That's not true at all, actually. A bunch of spades come, and that's going to keep Smitty on. Although not for an all-in wager. Really, it's just the jack that makes it so he's willing to call an all-in wager.
Yeah, jack or an ace.
Ace is weird, though. Ace is like, if the turn comes ace and he checks and Chrissy still decides to jam, then nothing has really changed. Yeah. And then nothing has really changed. And it's certainly no secret that a second ace gives whoever had the first ace trip aces.
Right.
Now, you can still beat the ace tens, whatever these suited aces might be, the small ones. But some of those suited aces made a boat already if the ace comes on the turn, like ace three. Ace three suited.
Thane's got a gutter and a backdoor flush draw. Vu has top pair, no kicker.
Thane limps $2. Vu raises to 20. Another spot where I think maybe if you open with your king queen as opposed to limp calling $20, you actually lose less money in this pot because you sort of get to dictate the terms of the pre-flop raise size that
You
you're
just
playing.
set your price.
You set the price, and then if your opponent three bets you, now it's a whole different ball game. But in this spot, Vu opening over somebody already limping is naturally going to choose a chunkier size. In this case, $20. And so on this ace high board, you're going to lose less money if you just check fold your king queen. Yeah. If you open, then you do if you allow Vu to open.
And 2 of the 10 were folded, so he was down to 2 outs.
Yeah. Another argument for improving that raise first in stat. That's the stat that this type of play reflects on. You want to have a decent sized raise first in.
There's a football game going on in the background. Or is that a replay?
Has to be a replay.
Okay, Ravens in Kansas City.
Yes, that matchup happened already this year, I believe.
Okay.
And it makes sense why they would want to replay it because that is the AFC Championship game that we're about to have.
Got it.
Ravens versus Kansas City. And I got to be honest, I gave Nathan a 10-1 in the middle of the season that the Super Bowl would be the 49ers and the Ravens because he, started spouting off about that stupid color of the logo business. Now, as not a sportsman, I'm sure you've not heard about this. But
yeah, I have.
As it turns out, the NFL for the last 3 years running, the colors, and it's a 2-color scheme, in the logo that they have been releasing for the Super Bowl have accurately reflected the teams that were going to play in that Super Bowl. And so this has led to people continuing to speculate about the NFL being scripted.
Right.
But in this case, the logo has purple and red. And so Nathan said, how much will you give me that the Niners and the Ravens are going to be the 2 teams in the Super Bowl? And this is like week 11 or 12. And I had just come off of the Niners beating the Eagles. So I said, nah, forget about it. I'll give you 10-1. I gave him 10-1 on this $10, and now I might lose 100 here.
Was it okay, got it. That he said the Ravens and the 49ers?
Yep, he said if exactly the Ravens and the 49ers are the 2 teams in the Super Bowl, he wanted.
It's the Chiefs and the Ravens are playing now.
Well, right now the Chiefs and the Ravens are in the AFC Championship game, so I'm a big Chiefs fan.
Here's the hand going on while we're talking. There's almost 300 in the pot. I paired my 8 with 2 queens on the board that I'm not afraid of because there's 2 on the board. You don't have one. And P-Dub has the boat again.
Certainly has one. Has one and one of Vu's 8s to boot.
And Vu's like, you might have an 8, but
yep.
He does call. I don't blame him for that.
Vu raises, Paul calls. Bet 30. I was trying to see that the way that acted.
Yeah, it went check on the turn, and then Paul bet 75 on the river.
Yeah. So these players up top here, the Chrissy, John, Reese, Vu, these are the players that understand the importance of isolating your opponents and making it so that you aren't going 4 and 5 ways to every single flop. That's what this PFR stat
pre-flop raising
is meant to represent. Everyone else is doing a lot more limping. And at this point, everybody's got enough hands for those stats to be valuable, except like Reese and to a certain extent Mac. We're still waiting for like 20 or so more hands for Mac, and Reese has a ways to go before we can really infer anything from his statistics. Well, would that become laggy for you, or is that just me? Eric, are you able to hear me?
Reese with the ace queen, not limping.
Sounds like you might not be able to hear me. Can you hear me?
No, must have heard you. Paul calls with an ace 9. Reese makes it 55 with a suited ace queen. Vu's got a suited 6-9, the same suit.
Dealer.
We are 3 ways to a flop. $183 in the pot. Deuce 4-7 comes out letters. Continuation bet from Reese should take this down. Oh, a big one. $105 it looks like. And P-Dub is not going to get out of line. He's not going to call. He's got no part of this. He does let it go. And Reese picks up a sizable pot. 288 without showdown. That's the best thing you can do. The more you win without showdown, without letting anybody know how you're playing.
Eric, can you hear me right now?
Very nice, Reese. 60% aggression frequency in just a dozen hands. They're all pretty aggressive, actually. Thane at 55%, Chrissy at 69%. Oh, okay. We lost Harry for just a minute. And I'm going to turn him back on. Are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
I don't hear you, though.
Can't hear me?
Nothing?
I hear you.
You can hear me? All right. I can see your sign
You
line.
hear me?
Harry
No?
can see me. I can't hear him at all, but I can
Okay.
see it. Very interesting.
Huh.
Oh,
Okay.
wait. Let me check something. How about that? Now I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. I can hear a little bit of myself.
Okay.
Not sure what happened there. I think we lost internet.
No, I know what happened. That was on me. Since we didn't have any table mics, I went ahead and turned off the table mic mixer. So you coming through like this is controlled on the same channel as the table mic. Interesting. So when I turned that down, I turned you down, and then all of a sudden you couldn't hear yourself, and that was on me. My bad.
No problem.
That's what I learned today. Don't do that. In the meantime, Thane Rivers, 2 pair. Vu Rivers 2 pair. That's smaller than Thane's 2 pair. He's going to call a $30 bet. Thane's going to show him the bad news. There's a 4-liner out there and 3 clubs. I don't think he really had to call with the 4-5 just because he got there for 2 pair. But it was such a small bet. He was like, "Oh man, you bet like 20% pot. That's a deal. I can't pass up a deal." So disappointed in myself for letting those microphones die. Definitely going to have to charge them. Hand 83. We've been streaming for 3 hours and 17 minutes. Hayden with pocket eights makes it $12. P-Dub calls with a 6-7 offsuit from the low jack. Reese in the hijack and pocket tens. He's got a 3-bet it to, it looks like 35, 40 flat. Folds around. Hayden, I expect to go set mining for the extra $28. $95 in the pot, 28 to call. That's good value for a 6-7 off. Paul's going to come in. He's got 2 undercards to 2 over pairs. Ace, king, deuce. I bet it checks around. Unless Reese decides to represent, and he does. 123 in the pot. He's going to bet 60 and pick up the pot. Well played, Reese. He might have thought he was bluffing on that, but it gets through.
Can you hear me? How are we doing here? Are you able to hear me? You can't hear me. You can't hear me. You hear me?
And it looks like we lost Harry. He must have had internet cut out. That's okay. We're almost done with the stream now. I think we got about 5 minutes left. Give him an extra half hour. Let's give away 1 more hour. Let's make it quick. Hand 87, 2 hands from now. What is the, what is the pre-flop bet going to be? Pre-flop bet. Hand 87. 2 hands from now, what will the pre-flop maximum bet be that gets called? For the tiebreaker, how many people are going to see the flop? Clay says 15. $15 bet. Randy says 60. That's a chunky bet. Tyler says 30. This is kind of anticlimactic. All right. So if it was this hand, it would have been 5. Randy changes his number to 3. All right. Tyler, or he's saying 3 people pre-flop. Never mind. Tyler, Clay, and Randy all said 3 people pre-flop. I thought you were changing your bet to 3, and I thought that was silly. It makes way more sense that 3 people are going to see the flop. So this is going to be a chop. They both have second pair with no kicker. Chop it up. All right, guys. What is the bet pre-flop? 15, 30, 60. Get your bets in now, or get your guesses in now before the button gets his second card. Before the button gets his second card, what will the pre-flop bet be? Jonathan Cook, welcome to the stream. I hear a rumor you're going to be playing next week. Jonathan, pick a number really quick. What do you think the bet will be right now, pre-flop? Okay, you're too late now. Vu's going to make it. John made it 15. Vu made it 30. Right now, Tyler's winning. Matt called. We're at 4 players. 4 players. The bet's 30. Tyler Wiggs, I'm going to credit you with an hour. Are you a member? Tyler Wiggs, 1 hour. Back to the action. I had to do a quick text. John's pocket 6 is still ahead. Mac's going to hang around with pocket 4s. Wu's got ace 10. He's like, man, I got 2 overs. What's going on? He calls with 2 overcards. Mac's going to show down and win the best hand with the aggression. He gets John to fold pocket 6s. So Mac wins the pot. Tyler wins the 1 hour free play. Add that, come in at 4 o'clock and play for 4 hours for free, noon to 3. If you guys haven't heard, we don't turn on the clocks until 3 o'clock. We have a free roll every day at noon. $25 rebuys, $500 guarantee on that tournament. Good times, good times. All right, Tyler, I got the check mark that yes, you have your hour credited. We're on hand 88. Now, if you guys want to play, come on down. These guys will be playing for a while. It is Friday night. We do not have a close time. We're going to keep playing till everybody's here. I'm going to shut down the stream in just a couple of minutes, but they're going to continue to play. We got 2 tables going. The action is like you would expect. Vu has the ace high flush draw. John has top pair. John leads out for 35. Vu makes it 100. John's not interested in folding right now. He's got about $500. He's back to a starting stack. A little bit of a roller coaster. If you weren't here earlier, he did win our tournament today. We live streamed the final table. He ended up winning it, no chops. Went home, watched the live stream, said that was awesome. I need to get back on here, and came back and played. Ran his 500 stack up to about 1,400, and then got cooler a little bit. Vu rips it in with a flush draw and a gut shot, and John lets go a top pair. We are on hand 89. All right. Let's give him one more hand. We'll play 90 hands today. And then we're going to shut off the lights, take away the cards, and they're going to continue to play. No button straddle, sir. All right, we need to get everybody's cards read. There they are. It was Vu. All right, now he's got to go through the all of the actions. The players were acting before the table was ready for him. P-Dub makes the call with 8 queen suited. What do you guys think about these new colors? Red text, yellow background, easy to read. King 10-4. We got 3 players. Equity's pretty well split up. Vu ahead with ace high right now. Very boring hand to end with. I am not going to end. I'm going to call an audible and let's have another hand. I'm not gonna stop streaming on a hand with less than $100 in the pot. How's that sound? We need a good hand to finish it with. I want to thank everybody who stuck with us this long through the trials and tribulations of this new software. The new staff learning how it operates, and me not knowing to charge the microphones between streams. Getting better every time. All right, we've got 4 players in the pot, $48. We're halfway to our $100 goal. 5-3-5. That gives Vu bottom pair. Chrissy still has an over pair to the 3. B-Dubs has the straight draw that he does not want to hit. It would give Chrissy a boat. Hayden has the letters. He's going to call and hit it. This will be spicy. Vu bets another 20 with bottom pair. Does Chrissy believe him yet? She does not. What does Hayden do? He stuck around when he shouldn't have, and he's just going to limp in again. P-Dub is drawing to an ace and gets there. Wow, Paul. Good job. Way to be sticky. That's not like you. They check it down. He's going to show the I called with a gut shot that was no good and accidentally wound up with a pair on the river. And that's good for a $188 pot. And that's it for me tonight. Thank you guys for being with us. Come back next Friday. We've got a stream going. It's going to be $1,000 buy-in. We're playing 1-3. It's Mike Sewell's game. Check us out on Facebook. And we'll see you then.